Blank check with Griffin and David. Blank check with Griffin and David. Don't know what to say or to expect. All you need to know is that the name of the show is Blank Check.
Hey, listen, let's promise each other something right here and right now, okay? No matter what happens, if we become huge stars or we end up hitchhiking back to Riverdale, we will always be friends first and a band second.
Friends first.
I swear on my podcast.
I swear on my podcast.
Aww.
Yay.
We're the only podcast where we're all in the picture on our bus license or whatever.
Hashtag 2 friends first.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm Griffin Newman.
David Sims.
This episode isn't about us.
No.
We've handed off our checkbook.
Sure.
We've given someone else the choice.
Uh-huh.
Because usually this show is
Called Blank Check.
It is.
Twist,
Yes.
it's still called Blank Check today.
Mhm.
But usually it's about filmographies. Directors who have massive success early on in their career and are given a series of blank checks to make whatever crazy passion projects they want. Sometimes they clear and sometimes they bounce. Pussycat.
Yes.
But today, as we often do in between miniseries, we're giving someone else the reins of the show. They have the blank check to choose whatever movie they want. And our guest today, is kind of...
Part of the family.
I wasn't going to say kind of part of the family.
Yeah.
She's 100%
Hell yeah, I
a
am.
part
She's
of the family. 100%.
She's kind of...
I was going to say she's kind of been the silent voice in this podcast all along.
Yeah.
Because she's so responsible for everything outside of the recordings themselves.
You
and
could
sometimes
say
even
like
some
my
stuff
voice was kind of like under the track a little
subliminally
bit.
underneath the
yeah.
track a
Always
little bit.
I see what you're
there.
saying.
You know what I'm
Didn't quite
saying? She
notice
could have
it.
been there the whole time.
Wait. Just for a second. What are you saying? No, I get it.
Do you need me to make my point 4 more times?
No, I get it.
And if there was ever any doubt that she belonged here in this studio with us, it was eradicated the second she came in with her choice because, boy, did she choose the single best American film of the 2000s.
Yes, that's what it is.
Accurate.
A Harry Elfont, Deborah Kaplan joint.
The last one?
I know. Sort of a bummer.
It's a massive bummer.
Yeah.
Who knows what they could have become? I feel like there's an alternate universe in which they would be good miniseries subjects if they continue to make movies like this.
Well, we could follow their writing career because they wrote more movies. They just never directed.
It even took a while for them to get another script produced. They had a gap, right?
Well,
Maid of Honor?
They survived Christmas.
Oh, right. They survived Christmas.
They leaked a year.
Yeah.
They leapt a year.
Yeah, they survived Christmas, but the American public didn't.
The American public did not survive Christmas, did not take them as their maid of honor, and kind of blew off leap year.
They waited 4 years for it to go on HBO.
They skipped the leap year. Yeah. So this is their peak.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a film. Wait a second. Have we introduced our guest?
cinema.
We're
No.
all over the place.
No, she is...
Good start already, guys.
Mhm. No, we're doing great.
She is the 4th member of the Blank Check family.
Yep.
Final.
No one else allowed?
Ever.
Good. We shout her out every week.
Yeah, no one else fits in the bus pass.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And you're kind of short. You can get in
Hey!
there. We can all cram in there.
Hey, shut up, Tolly.
Yeah. I'm so tall.
Fucking dummy. Our guest today is the perfect height, the height of all intelligent people. Under 5'7".
Sure.
The classiest of heights, Ange Ferraguto,
Hi.
is our guest today. And Ange, what movie have you chosen?
I have chosen 2001's Josie and the Pussycats.
Fuck yeah!
Thank you for yelling off mic.
Mm-hmm.
Josie and the Pussycats. And Elfon and Kaplan. Ian K.
Elf
and Cap.
If I ever had
Elf Cap.
Elf Cap. If I ever had a Griff's choice, which it's about time because I never get to put
You just don't get
my
to
thoughts on that.
You don't get to say what you think.
I can't get a
What
word
does
in
Griffin
edgewise.
like? We
Right.
just don't know.
This show
Exactly.
never reflects
What
my
are his
interests.
tastes?
I
No
don't
idea.
know.
Like, remember that time that you said, please, let's do a Hotel Transylvania episode this year? And
Talked
we were all
about
like,
it earlier.
Griffin, no, we will not.
Please, I cry about it every single night. By the way, as a topical episode, somewhat, I should mention the fact that I pointedly was not nominated for a Saturn Award this
Wait,
year.
you weren't?
Yeah.
Wait, did that just come out?
It came out a couple weeks ago, but it made no splash in the news, so most people will be hearing this for the first time.
Wait.
No rings for you.
When you say pointed, I mean, did they mention that they didn't nominate you?
They nominated.
They specifically said at the nomination ceremonies, and
did
not
they nominate
Griffin
Peter?
Newman.
No. They nominated
new media superhero series.
That's the only nomination that's Tick got, which is fucking bullshit.
I mean, also...
That category is bullshit.
Should that be a category?
That's what I'm saying. That category
we're going to go into that in a second.
Is bullshit. Mm-hmm. They nominated 0 performances. No Yara Martinez. No Valerie Curry. No Peter Serafinowicz.
Also, I mean, I'm not trying to rub it in here, but they had 8 nominees.
Thank you. That's where the pointedly comes in.
And one of them is someone, no offense to this person, that I've literally never heard of.
I believe they don't exist. And I don't mean that as any disrespect to this person.
I just haven't heard of them.
You can't disrespect them because they don't exist.
And him. Okay.
Who?
You guys are so catty.
Gary Payton, it's odd because there's the famous basketball player Gary Payton. Gary Payton, he plays
yes, I knew that.
He's in The Walking Dead and he plays what's the character called? Like he's got a biblical name. Ezekiel.
Oh,
the guy with the tigers.
Yeah, okay.
I guess that's kind of a cool character. I don't know.
8 nominees.
Let's run them down.
Been 5 per field.
Let's run them down. I just want to run them down because I think
one another dagger.
6 of them belong. 5 of them belong. Okay, so Nikolai Coster-Waldau in Game of Thrones, he's a gimme. He's
okay.
What is this category again?
Best supporting actor. Period.
Now,
in television.
On television.
And who, if we haven't made it clear, does the social media and runs the Twitter feed.
Is a
genius.
genius.
And we're going to praise her more in a second.
Please
this is very important.
Got it.
Because let's point out that Ange Also didn't get nominated for a Saturn Award this year, which is fucking bullshit.
Campaign failed.
And they had a category that was Best Social Media for a Comedy / Film Criticism Podcast, and there were 15 nominees.
So, Ange.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me that Griffin's really the lead of the Tick?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know why he's campaigning for supporting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, number 2 on the call sheet. Sure. It's me and Rooney Mara.
He was trying to sneak into supporting.
Rooney Mara rules.
I think...
there's 0 chance I had of breaking into lead.
You don't think you could displace Seth MacFarlane in The Orville?
Hey, look.
For acting.
Is that a show that exists?
It's a show that exists.
Okay.
Hey.
Seth MacFarlane was nominated for his acting.
It's phenomenal
just
performance.
a poster like on 14th Street.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Apparently
Best poster on 14th Street.
Yeah.
It's a shoo-in.
4,000 nominees in that category.
There's a lot of posters on 14th Street.
I know.
All right, so here are the nominees. Nikolai Coster-Waldau, he's in Game of Thrones. Sure,
right.
Throw him in there.
Yeah.
Where's Waldo?
Got it.
Kit
in that category.
He's there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, Kit Harington in Game of Thrones, who I think is a lead.
Who's lead? Then who's
I think
the
they're
lead,
saying
if not
everyone.
I think everyone is
I think they're saying
campaigning and supporting.
ensemble.
The dragon is lead.
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
The
So,
game.
and he's a gimme too. Doug Jones in Star Trek Discovery. The guy's a sci-fi legend. He's very good on Star Trek.
And I'll say from
David just spilled water.
Caps on.
From the one year that I was someone's +1 to the Saturn Awards in 2008, Doug Jones is like the Jack Nicholson of the Saturn Awards.
Exactly. Right.
Everyone
like,
makes Doug Jones.
Good to see you. Right.
No, but he wears like a very brightly colored vest.
Good for him.
Because he can. I mean, if I were Doug Jones, I would just like wear whatever the fuck I want all
Doug
the
Jones
time.
Fucks, and his body can.
Well, I mean, because he's
drape
just
any clothes,
covered in like goop.
He's a wicker man.
Like stuff all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's also so slender.
Yeah, he should dress to the nines because usually he's
right.
goop.
He's a fish man blocked out from the world.
But everyone makes jokes about him. He does bits from the audience. He kills it. Great nomination. Totally worthy.
So he's in, right? Yeah. So that's 3. Okay, 4.
He's going to win. He's going to win, by the way.
Sure. Yeah, he's really good on Star Trek.
On the record.
He's genuinely great on Star Trek. Number 4, Michael McKean in Better Call Saul. I'm not sure why that gets into the Saturns.
Thank you. Great performance. Totally deserving of a nomination at the Emmys.
Yeah, which I think he gets those nominations. Like, he's been nominated at the Emmys.
But they nominated Frances McDormand for Best Actress for 3 Billboards.
I mean, are they calling like film noir a genre? Like,
Thriller,
sort of?
They said.
All right. Anyway.
Get out.
All right. So that's 4. Sorry, that's 4. And then the 5th, and I hope he wins, is Miguel Ferrer in Twin Peaks: The Return.
Yeah.
So
that's
phenomenal.
Lovely.
And, RIP.
Right.
All right. Then Carrie Payton in The Walking Dead. Okay, fine. He's okay.
Cool.
He looks cool. He's fun. He's fun.
Right. Okay.
Christian Kane in The Librarians. The guy from Angel, like in a TNT show that's a miniseries.
No comment.
I don't know.
David, describe my face right now.
He's like
confusion.
Yeah, kind of bemused.
No comment.
Evan Peters and American Horror Story cult. I mean,
come on.
You know, it gets rough there at the end. I think you should have been in there.
I think so.
And they didn't nominate, and then in actor, John Bernthal, Bruce Campbell, he must be another Nicholson type at the Saturns, right?
Yeah.
He must be on like the board of governors or whatever. Sam Heughan in Outlander, which you can't disrespect Outlander.
I think Bruce Campbell might be more of the Robin Williams.
Sure,
Where he
right.
comes up on stage and does like a 20-minute.
Are you into this, Ben, by the way? You into this?
it.
Cool. Yeah,
No.
Jason Isaacs, Andrew Lincoln, Kyle MacLachlan. Okay, those are all, you know.
Yeah.
How many people are on this list?
8.
And they've always been a 5 per category show, and this year they're like 8 suddenly.
It's a little rude.
Yeah, it's a little rude.
But
And here's the
luckily,
thing.
you
Calling
were
you out,
nominated in
Saturn
Best
Awards.
New Media Superhero Series alongside 4 Marvel shows on Netflix and Future Man on Hulu. Very
What?
weird.
Because then the best superhero, they have a literal best comic to television series, right?
They have a Best Comic to Motion Picture. But
Oh.
I think they've removed. I think this is just the new title.
And then they have best superhero TV series and best new media superhero TV series. So the best superhero
Right.
TV series is just
That's your
5 Berlanti shows.
Well, they had 7 nominees this year.
Jesus Christ.
You know, your Arrow, your Flash, your Supergirl,
Right,
all
and
that,
then new
you know.
media is every Marvel Netflix show that has season, Us, and Future Man.
Yeah.
This is a fun intro, guys.
Right?
I'm loving it.
Past and future guest friend of the show, Sam
People are loving
Regal,
this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
texted me and said,
Past
my
and-
condolences about, and future, about the Saturn Awards.
Life is hard.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I went, I didn't get in. But I was like, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to be happy to see that Jackie Earl Haley got nominated.
Sure.
I thought they
or
would
Peter
give.
or whatever.
Right. And then the fact that, I just think I got to cast a pros on our show, a show that shouldn't be made because no one should ever make a TV show.
Excited for season 2?
I'm so pumped.
All right. So that's the Saturn recap.
Yeah.
Over with.
Yeah. It's not all about like the glory and fame though, Griffin. I think you should just worry about being yourself.
Sometimes
Just a lesson
it's
of
about
a-
being
of a little
yourself,
movie.
the friends that you've been doing the work with for years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The friends who, like, one day years ago, I'm looking at the Twitter feed and I think I literally said to Griffin, like, that's funny. Like, are you doing the tweets? They're funny. And Griffin was like, I'm not doing any tweets. What? You kidding me?
Dun, dun, dun.
Like literally, and Ben was like, no, that's Ange. That's Ange the
Hi,
intern.
that's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, way back in the
Well,
day.
I think it was the Almost Famous was like my.
Was that your debut?
Well, because I wanted to say I started. So I interviewed with Ben in like April or something of 2016. Ben is not
Come on,
remembering
Ben.
this at
Rub
all.
those brain cells together.
Come
That sounds
on.
right. That
Come
sounds
on.
right.
And
Yes,
so
that
it's
It's like
sounds right.
early-ish into when we're blank check, not a Star Wars.
And this
podcast.
was back in the UCB days. So
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
interning for UCB, not
Correct.
for
My
our
second
podcast.
internship.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I ended up being the only intern for the podcast. Worked for like 11 other shows, but you guys, but I had the most fun with like your show. And then I think we had just started James Cameron,
Sure.
just wrapped up on the Wachowskis.
Sure.
And like Almost Famous, I was like obsessed with as like a teen. Ben's, yeah.
We're making content.
Yeah, I was making content. I made the like listen to Blank Check with a candle
God,
burning.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Right. And I was
remember
like,
you being like, "That was great." And
that
I
was
like,
so good. And I was like,
yeah.
Griffin must have made this because he loves Almost Famous, but no, it wasn't great.
No, it was me.
But I even
Because
remember.
I love Almost
I remember
Famous.
you photoshopping Space Gams off of
Space
like a
Gams
Richard
is
Lawson
my
joke.
proudest work.
Yeah, that
was
was great.
That's on
Yeah.
my LinkedIn page right now.
I mean, Ange came in and we barely had this like network at UCB running, you know,
It
and
was
I was
literally a closet.
It was
that
a
you
closet.
lived in.
It was
that
a
I
closet
lived
that
in.
Ben lived in, and he wasn't going crazy.
No, I was losing my mind. And so I was so thankful to have Ange as an intern. She was so great and basically established how to like support the show with social media. That was all Ange.
All in because
She-
social media was terrible up until
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, you guys
It
had
was-
no
what-
followers.
What was it? Like, I don't even remember what we
We'd
just had
sometimes
a
be
Twitter
like,
Did you
account.
post
new
episode
episode.
links?
Some-
And that
Yeah,
was
it's
it.
like-
Yeah.
yeah, once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really great at developing what the Blank Check feed is
Yeah,
now.
the
and
voice.
the voice, and was so great that I was sad to see her go.
Mhm.
And I was like, hey, do you want to maybe like stay involved with the show.
After run of internship, we were like, what if we bring
Yeah.
into the fold?
I'm not going to lose this one.
Intern
She
the
too
fold.
good.
More like.
Intern the
Whoa.
fold.
Yeah, that's right.
A Nancy Meyers movie. I think your show is definitely like just the most fun to jump into. I remember the first episode I listened to was The Force Awakens because I was low key obsessed with it as soon as it came out, and then was like, I remember like asking, I had like notes about like in case Ben asked me or like, what are some ideas for like episodes or something, and I had some pitches that I don't think were like necessarily in line with Blank Check, but looking back it's very funny because so many fans are like, you should do this, you should do that, and we're like, okay, and I'm like, oh, that's totally what I did when I started listening.
But you also had like a very matched sense of humor, like you have very parallel sort of like.
Can I just say I figured out you guys' voice very easily, just kind of nailed it down. If I can just best sum it up,
backhanded
a little bit. Well, there is a Blank You who did say but you guys were like David and the Three Chipmunks. You're the Three Chipmunks.
Right.
David is David.
Yeah, I'm all
think
three chipmunks in one person.
The angle I kind of just like very quickly figured out, just like in a Muppet Baby scenario.
Oh, Griffin
like,
wouldn't know anything about that.
No,
but just like, okay, so like schoolyard version of you guys is Griffin is like the little kid on the playground that gets like is way too obsessed with his toys and gets like picked on.
Hells yeah.
David is like the like big kid that looks like he could totally beat up Griffin, and you think he's going to when his character is introduced, but he doesn't, and he's low key just as big of a nerd.
Oh yeah.
And then Ben.
Oh yeah, Benny.
Benny's
B-E-N.
just like, I don't want to do a spit take. Ben's like the like low key. Ben's the stoner AV kid that like skates by.
Yeah,
I like that.
And then joins the crew. And yeah, it was just you guys had a very good established dynamic that was like fun to work with on social media. And I think I just clicked in.
You tweeted something
right
that I thought was.
You clicked right in.
You clicked right in. And then people started clicking like on those tweets.
Whoa.
And follow.
Yeah,
we went from 0 to followers.
I was like, you guys had like 300
Okay,
when
well,
we
that's not-
started.
All right. Look, I'm busy man.
I'm saying we have like 5,000
did
now.
some
I know you
boosting.
do. You should brag.
Um,
It's all thanks to you, Ange.
You tweeted something I thought was very cutting the other day, which was in the midst of March Madness voting, when people were saying like, guys, we have to vote for this. This is our only opportunity to get Griffin to talk about blank. And you said, I don't understand this line of reasoning, as if, what was the example you used?
As if we didn't like spend 20 minutes on the Muppets, like in the opening of like a Christopher Nolan film. Like
exactly.
The movie miniseries does not designate that you will not talk about like the Transylvania films.
Right,
like,
which is why we spent 15 minutes talking about the Saturn Awards and a Josie and Pussycats
an award
episode.
show no one watches or cares about.
Isn't televised. Literally isn't televised.
No.
Yeah.
They aren't televised?
No.
They should televise them on like
That's why.
True TV, right? Like get them on a cable network.
Well, it's like Spike should have like televised that instead of creating whatever their dumb guys'
the
choice
Spike
awards. Right.
Dick Awards.
Yeah.
Best dick.
Yeah. Best dong.
That'd be great if it was that, though.
Yeah.
Just that. Who we think's got the best dick, but like, just like it's a good dick.
But it means if I had won, I could have gotten up and made a really incendiary speech because it wouldn't have hit the airwaves.
What about Trump?
Yeah, I would have gone, I don't think this guy should be president.
Wait a second, an actor having a political opinion in an award ceremony?
I think
Hey,
he's bad at his
kick
job.
to Hollywood.
I just want to say something. You listen up, Doug Jones. Pay attention to me.
You know what I love? I love when people tweet at me and go like, actors should stick to this. Get out of politics. You shouldn't weigh in on these matters. And then I go to their feed and all they tweet about is politics, and also tweet at people like Scott Baio and go, thank you so much for speaking about politics.
Also about a president who hosted a reality television show. Anyway.
Look up and see if Scott Baio has any Saturn nominations.
They probably fucking counted Charles in Charge as a thriller.
It is a thriller.
It is
Who's in charge?
Charles.
He has 2 Daytime Emmy nominations, but no Saturn nominations.
Charles, yeah.
And they're
So you
both
guys are
for
equal in that way.
They're both for after school programming. Interesting.
So we're right on schedule, 20 minutes
Great.
in,
Talking
barely
about the
talked
Saturn
about the
Awards.
movie
And-
Yes.
we're talking about
Correct.
today.
There were other movies you floated.
There were. The first one I sent to
Was-
Griffin immediately
Tell me.
We're Back,
Yep.
a dinosaur
A dinosaur
story.
That was really funny.
Which insanely, someone on the Reddit asked us to do.
Really?
Once. Yes,
Yeah.
and I noted that and put it in my brain. I was
It's
like,
so weird. I was just like, we haven't done a lot of animated films.
true.
And it's just like very 90s, very strange. John Goodman is a dinosaur. Jay Leno's in it. Cloris Leachman is in it. Walter Cronkite is a wizard man who time travels, brings dinosaurs back to New York for the purpose of like bringing wishes to children
Yes.
in New York City. There's an evil man with a spiral eyeball.
A couple other things
Yeah.
I want to note.
Well,
great.
Julia Child plays a character
Yes.
called Dr. Bleeb.
Yeah, she has very big glasses.
Also, it's 72 minutes long. Also, it has 4 credited directors.
It opens with John Goodman as the T-Rex playing golf. Also, came out
I weirdly also learned
in
the children's...
1993. So it is the quintessential dinosaur movie
Oh, yeah,
of
you're right.
1993. It came out before Jurassic
And it was
Park.
produced by
I owned the
Spielberg, right?
book it was based on,
Yeah,
and I
okay,
would
yeah.
read it a lot.
I did not remember. I
was
saw
a
the movie
child.
about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to note a couple additional
I
things.
wanted to roll
On
back
top
the
of
rock,
those things?
baby.
Okay. Right before you said, because I
Julia
messaged you and
Child plays
said, we'd
character,
love to
so.
do an Answer's Choice. What do you think you would pick? And you
Right.
said, We're Back. Literally like 3 hours before, I was like, how did that song go in We're Back? And I
Yeah.
watched Turn Back the Clock.
Yeah.
Or Turn Back the Rock.
It's roll back the rock and turn back the clock
Okay.
and sing this song with me.
Right. The only song in a movie that is not a musical, but has one full musical number.
Also, isn't there that weird
They're
thing
in
where, like,
they're the dinosaurs, for context for the listeners at home, the dinosaurs are invade like some type of parade a la Ferris
It's the
Bueller.
Macy's
it's the
Thanksgiving
Macy's
Day Parade.
Thanksgiving
and then
Day Parade. They pretend to be
and
inflatable
the people
balloons.
People
watching
think that they're
think
the
they're
most
inflatable.
advanced
Yeah.
balloons of all time that are able to sing
Man's
and dance.
mind cannot handle the truth.
No.
Walter Cronkite,
Especially in 93.
Walter Cronkite and Kenneth Mars play brothers. One of them, the good doctor. One of them, the villain.
Oh, no, what are their
are
names? Yes.
New Eyes and Screw Eyes.
Yes.
Because one of them's got a new eye and the other one has a screw for an eye.
Sure.
Screw Eyes.
Also, I'm sorry. Give them their ranks. It's Captain New Eyes and Professor Screw Eyes.
Yes.
But this is
he
what
has
I-
a doctorate.
this
Yes.
is what I really want to get
He has
to,
a
okay?
PhD.
Professor Screw Eyes was supposed to be played by,
John Malkovich, right?
and in the promotion of the
Oh
movie,
my
they were like,
God.
Malkovich.
Right.
He
Malkovich.
dropped out very shortly before the film came out.
Oh,
They dubbed it
no.
over. No one knew why. Can I read this to you from Wikipedia?
Shoot.
Actor John Malkovich was originally set to voice the role of Professor Screw Eyes, but dropped out because of disagreements with the animator's vision of the film. Upon the movie's release, Malkovich was a vocal critic of the project, arguing that the scope of the script was not fully realized and that the final product was subpar, to say the best. In a rare 2003 interview, Malkovich said, "Good ideas go to die in Hollywood. I worked on an animated movie about dinosaurs, wonder which one, in New York. It was completely...
just to narrow it down.
Yeah. It was completely bureaucratized. They took something that had art in it and put it in the laps of people that only cared about the bottom line, and look what happened."
Strong words about we're back.
And then he said, yeah, projects like We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, still being vague about which movie he's talking about,
Right.
they just make you sick. That's why I left this town. It's all about the money. The bottom line's disgusting. That was the answer
That
to,
was
so
the-
why do you live in France?
Right, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah, I thought he lived in France because he like didn't want to pay taxes. or
No,
something.
because of We're Back, a Dinosaur. Maybe he didn't want to pay taxes on his salary for the movie that he quit.
Right. All right. So
Amazing.
there was. I feel like there was another one
Yeah.
too. What was the other one you thought of doing?
Okay, so I was between Josie, so I would say very formative movies in my childhood
Sure.
were rented constantly at Blockbuster. Were Josie and the Pussycats.
Okay.
Actually, 3. Okay.
Yeah,
Spice
give me.
World.
Sure. Yes.
Spice
Which
World, I would say, is like-
also saw in theaters.
Yep.
Spice World, but like reviewing Spice World would be like reviewing like a Hard Day's Night. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of bits.
It's an
It's also just
interesting
a perfect
It's
movie.
fun.
Yeah.
Alan Cumming also in that.
I know,
Right.
but not the villain.
Yeah, so it was between Josie and Charlie's Angels was very
Sure.
important.
Which
to
is
me.
also a good pick, but I feel like this is like an undersung masterpiece.
Right, exactly.
Charlie's Angels is like a kind of fun movie that's like
right.
a fun,
I
like
think I was,
bit
but
of-
like
yeah.
they both Charlie's Angels and Josie and the Pussycats open with the 3 main characters having like their names swoop across the screen.
Right.
They each get a montage. They're jumping on a trampoline,
Yep.
presumably freezing in the sky.
trampolines were very in the late 90s and early
That's
2000s.
there's a car wash montage.
Sure.
And in the end of Charlie's Angels, which like I watched at sleepovers constantly and like pretended to like play instruments with my friends was they do Blink 182 in the credit scene
Right,
while the
I remember
bloopers
that.
all real.
Oh,
I remember
yeah,
it.
no, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Yep,
and
yep.
you know, Drew Barrymore, they're all just going crazy on those instruments. None of them actually play. Thought it was
Right.
the coolest fucking thing. Watched it
Sure.
all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was great. But I just as like a little girl who just like wanted to pretend to play wanted to play instruments like this. Josie and Charlie's Angels were both very like strong in that. Also, very big fan of like the Powerpuff Girls.
Sure.
Totally Spies, Destiny's
Don't
Child.
know that one.
Trilogies.
like-
you like
Yeah,
trios of strong, empowered
I
women
have
who play
never
music
heard
and/or
of
fight.
Totally Spies. I am now reading about this.
It's basically it's like
They seem pretty
Powerpuff
cool,
Girls, but
right,
they're
but they're
just teens,
spies.
and they
Right.
each have their own color. And like late '90s, early 2000s. Like I was the girl that
It's like
like
three
that
Twin
one
Impossibles.
That one didn't make
Yeah.
it to the UK.
they had like a butler. It was and
But, so
they
you're-
would just
wait,
shoot
I'm
out.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Ange, I'm sorry.
Yep, we're getting into cartoons. Griffin doesn't want to talk about them.
Never.
No.
David, your defense is that Totally Spies didn't make it to a place where you presumably vacation. What do you?
Yeah.
Why would that affect your ability to watch the
were
show?
you gone for like
How
while
long-
I was in theaters
How
or
long
something?
were you there for? 2 weeks at most? A
I
spring
grew
break?
up in Britain. I grew up in Britain.
This is so exciting.
What? Do you know about this,
I
Ange?
don't know. I've listened to the show for like 2.5 years. This is news to me.
There's
But, yeah.
another commonality between Charlie's Angels and Josie and the Pussycats I'll get to later. Wink, wink.
Oh.
Wink, wink. But I believe I've told this story on the podcast before. Josie and the Pussycats was my first date ever.
Interesting.
Ooh.
6th grade Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
First date.
2001.
So exciting.
First girlfriend.
Yep.
And it cast the die for the rest of my life because
Oh,
she
boy.
kept on trying to get me to kiss her, and I did not want to miss any of Josie and the Pussycats.
Any of these 98 minutes of fun.
Yeah, we
Wow.
broke up, I think, about 2 hours later.
I saw this movie on a date as well. But
Really?
I was 15, so I'm a little more like,
yeah.
I knew what I was
Man.
doing.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I also
March
saw this on a date.
2001. Big,
Yeah, huge.
big month for you guys.
Business was booming.
April 2001, Ange, please.
It
Oh.
said March
It was-
on. Am I wrong?
Let
Well,
me
end of
double
I
March.
think
check.
it was
Maybe you saw it in
March.
April.
April
Whatever.
11th,
It's
2001.
springtime.
Yes. I was in America, in fact, when this came out.
Whoa.
Well, of course. I mean, that's where one lives.
Now
mean,
you're just
where
being
all of us
obtuse.
are
Now,
from.
wait a second. I just said I grew up in Britain.
I was talking about something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah,
The best movie ever.
the best film ever.
Join the army.
It's a great
Join the
movie.
army.
It was a giant flop.
Huge.
Terrible.
It kind of tanked both
Rachel
the
Lee Cook?
director's career and
Completely.
Rachel Lee Cook's career.
Which is so
Rachel
weird.
Lee Cook's career might not have made it anyway, but it definitely tanked her career.
I hardcore disagree with that.
Really?
And here's a hot take I want to say.
I mean, I like her. I'm just
right
saying,
out the
you know.
gates. I think Rachel Lee Cook would be huge today.
I'm narrowing my eyes at you.
Isn't she currently still acting?
She does.
She's in stuff. She
fucking
was on a show.
What's she does
Hallmark
TV.
Channel movies.
No, she was in Perception.
Right, she was on TNT series for a couple years.
3.
Since then, she's done like 5 Hallmark movies in a row.
She does do a lot of Hallmark movies. Hey, man. It's autumn and summer in the vineyard. So I'm waiting for your apology.
I'm gonna throw my hottest take out right now.
She went to the
boy.
vineyard twice. We still got spring and winter to go.
2001
Uh-huh.
Best Actress winner is Halle Berry for Monsters Ball.
This is just silly what you're about to say.
Rachel Lee Cook should have won Best Actress for Josie and the
That's
Pussycats.
ridiculous.
Rachel Lee Cook should have won Best.
I don't think
Actress
Rachel Lee Cook's the best
in a motion
performance
picture.
in the Pussycats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the 3 Pussycats,
Yeah,
I
no.
wouldn't put her number 1.
But they'd be supporting
Rosario. They
Well,
would be
I
good. Rosario's
understand.
key. I thought we were gonna go overall, in which case,
Parker Posey.
yeah, we need to.
Yeah,
That's a whole other side
I don't
rant
think
for
Rachel Lee
Parker.
Cook is in my top 5 performances in this movie.
Yeah, but this
I
film
think
would
she's
win
good.
4 acting Oscars in a just world. Cumming would take.
Is he a
I think
lead?
so.
That's the question,
I think it only
actually.
wins 3 acting Oscars.
No,
There's not
because
really a lead male.
Cumming wins supporting. Rachel Lee Cook wins lead, and in a rare,
Tie.
yeah,
Rosario and Parker split supporting
supporting
actress.
actress.
Great.
yeah,
Oh, man.
and Alan M wins cutest guy in Riverdale.
Yeah, sure. Just because they're not allowed to mention Archie.
Yeah, no, but Alan M was a big
Why
character.
weren't they
No, I
allowed to
know.
mention Archie? Yeah, I was always curious about that.
I don't know, but I just feel like they don't. So I feel like there might have been like Archie Comics was like, nah, hold
You
off
guys
on
can
any
own,
Archie
like,
mentions.
these
You can mention
secondary-
Riverdale. You can mention Josie
Do
characters.
you guys think if this movie was successful, they would have like spun off and done like Betty and Veronica?
There,
I mean,
there
yeah,
were attempts
definitely.
to make an Archie movie for a long time, and there was like a TV movie that they did of like a high school reunion with the Archie kids.
Now there's currently a TV show.
Right.
Indeed.
But I think I remember there being a lot of talk in the 90s of doing like a Brady Bunch movie style.
Oh, sure, like
semi-parody,
an ironic, right? Yeah,
The
Archie
sequel
out of time,
directed
out of place. Baby Thomas?
No, these two directors did the Brady Bunch
Really?
sequel. Yeah.
What?
Did you guys do
Huh.
your research, guys?
They did not.
They
What are you
wrote
talking
or
about?
directed
about?
it.
What?
Hold on.
Very Brady
It could be like-
sequel?
Yeah.
No.
Listeners at home, the two nerds are searching.
Hold
I am
on.
leaning back.
It was directed by Arlene Sanford.
Well,
the
maybe not
great
directed,
Arlene
they wrote
Sanford.
it.
Oh, yeah.
They did write it. That was their
they
first
wrote it.
screenplay.
Yeah.
And they also
And
wrote.
so that led them to, they thought,
Right. I
we
mean,
did
of
that
course.
so we can do
Logical.
this musical out of Josie.
They also wrote The Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas.
Yes, they
Well,
did.
and they also made Can't Hardly Wait, which is
Right.
a pretty good movie.
And was a good hit, and they were like,
Yeah, it was a
let's
good
test
hit.
these guys up. Let's see if they can move up to the major.
Did you guys catch that during one of the when they're in Parker Posey's like secret lair? Like there's like a little like Chiron screen that says,
that says
like Can't
the
Hardly
Wait
Wait is like
or whatever.
underrated.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. It's very funny.
Yeah. I feel like that moment alone just sums up like the whole purpose of Josie and the Pussycats.
Can't Hardly Wait's pretty good. I mean, I've seen it like 8 times. But like it was also
I've
just
only
one of
seen
those
it
movies that
I've
was on
seen
a
it no
lot.
time.
Yeah, I've seen this 25 times. You'd like
I
this fun.
think you'd like
I
it.
could have seen it for research, but
Sure.
instead watched Josie about like 5 more times.
Yeah.
Fair.
On top of the 1,000 times I saw it in my childhood.
What I was going to say is that in a pre-cinematic universe era, if you were someone like Archie Comics, your goal was split this into as many properties as possible with very restrictive rights and sell them
Right.
off, even if they don't get made. So it was like Sabrina goes to TV.
Right.
We make a
And
Josie and the
Sabrina's
Pussycats
on
movie.
TV right at this moment.
They're,
Right?
Exactly.
they're working on it.
But
yeah.
like they don't want those characters acknowledging other properties because they want to make the money off of the sales of the rights.
okay.
Because
Yeah.
even if Archie doesn't get made, Universal sits on the Archie rights for like 20 years or whatever,
Right.
and they're getting money for it. Now everyone wants everything shaking hands, you know?
Right. No, you're right. So there's no, apart from Riverdale,
Right.
there's no like
No, there's like
further
mean high school
Archie
girls.
talk. It's all Josie characters.
But I remember I was a big Hanna-Barbera kid,
Uh-huh.
so I would watch Josie and the Pussycats, the cartoon.
Right.
One of the best theme songs ever.
Classic.
And when the trailers for this came out, and I was a big Rachel Lee Cook fan, I was like, okay, so they just made it into a movie
What are
about...
you talking about? You were a big Rachel Lee Cook fan. You mean you liked She's All That?
Excuse me.
Give it to me.
I also liked The Babysitter's Club.
Oh, I've never seen that.
I also liked This Is Your Brain on Drugs.
Wasn't that later that she did that?
That was early. That was pre-She's All That. Rachel Lee Cook was the This Is Your Brain, egg. This is your brain on drugs, cracked egg. Any questions?
See, I was too old. I was
her. Oh my
already
God.
too cynical when she did that. Like I was like, that's fucking lame.
I saw that egg and I was like, yo, I want to fry
David,
that.
David was like, drugs are cool.
I didn't even think drugs were
Fuck
cool,
this
but
noise.
even I was like,
I was like, fry me up, baby.
Were you a fan of the fact that she got selected by the Obama administration as a champion for change in arts education?
Yeah, I loved that. You kidding me?
She does a lot of animated, like she does a lot of voice work.
A fair amount.
No, like a lot.
I just wish she was still a big deal. I was a big Rachel Lee Cook fan. As I said, the trailers came out, and the trailers just made it look like it was like, this is a struggling band comedy.
Right.
And so I was like, okay,
Yes.
pretty loose adaptation of the cartoon. They're just sort of taking the band thing. It's going to be like a fun
Right.
rock comedy. And I remember very early on watching it going like, oh, this is a surprisingly good adaptation of the cartoon.
Right.
Because it's not like a Flintstones literal adaptation, but they still do solve a mystery.
Right.
You have both of the Cabots in it, Alan M. Like these supporting characters that most people would have cut because they're like, that's
Right.
fucking dead weight.
And then she straight up
She-
says,
she had-
I'm
'cause-
only in this because I was in the comic.
Which I think is funny.
Love.
Great
Yeah.
fourth wall break.
Yeah, but it like hits all the tenets of a classic Josie and the Pussycat story with the whole central cast.
Also is one of the greatest satires of our time.
right, that's the thing. It's-
unrecognized
it's
as a satire.
Our generation's network.
By Roger Ebert. How dare he?
But that's my take.
We'll talk about
this
Roger.
This is network for the 2000s.
No, it is. It's a very, very funny movie that is very, like, you know, it's pointing right at that exact moment in the culture.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in the manufactured
no,
band
they
culture.
they very specifically wanted to. I mean, the opening
Without being too
yeah.
mean, which is my favorite
Right.
part. Like,
No,
it's
yeah.
not even like some like, fuck you guys. You're
No,
all
but it's
sheep.
like-
you know, it's just like funny. It's making
Yeah.
fun of the things we all love.
The music video with Du
I
Jour.
love Du Jour.
Straight ripoff of Backstreet Boys.
I Want It That Way. Right,
Where
yes.
they're
The
also
fisheye
on
lens and the
strip.
private jet
Yep.
runway. Yeah.
Du
Backdoor
Jour.
Lover.
But
it opens with a song about butt sex.
I know.
It
This
does.
movie's so
Should we
fucking
start with
subversive.
the movie? Are we going with the
Yes.
like right
All right.
away?
The movie starts as all
sex.
great movies start with Justin Chatwin yelling straight into the lens.
I forgot about that. Luckily, that's it for him.
Yes.
He's in and out.
Yes.
I can handle Justin Chatwin
he
if he's
the
in the
fan?
first 10
He's
seconds
the fan
of the movie.
who's like, I love them. You know,
like
in a-
brothers.
right. Yeah.
Yep. Quality.
But this movie, someone pointed out on the Reddit when Angie posted the schedule and people saw that this episode was coming up.
Yeah.
This was shot by Maddie Libatique.
coming off of Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, when everyone's like, ooh, this is the hot new cinematographer. This guy's pushing shit. And at the time, everyone involved in this movie was written off as like, oh, they're slumming a paycheck. He's doing interesting work in this movie. This is an interesting looking movie. And it's a rare comedy that is, especially within the studio system, super stylish, super visually distinctive.
Yep.
And all of that aesthetically
lines up
with the comedy, supports the comedy, makes it funnier.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So the beginning is this perfect aping of that music video style, with them going from out of focus, like gauzy silhouettes, into
really
like
cheesy choreography, like not a lot of effort put into it.
Right. And this
singing
is
directly into the lens.
Let's get our 4 biggest stars to do our cameos at the top of the movie.
Seth Green,
Faison, Meyer, and then the 4th guy. Who's the only one who
fourth
could
guy,
come back
Alexander
for the
Martin.
end of the movie.
I know. Yeah, well, Faison, Green, and Meyer are all in Can't Hardly Wait, I'm pretty sure.
I believe.
Yeah.
Meyer, who married the director.
Did he?
What?
Wow, I'm dropping knowledge
You're
on
right.
you guys.
They got divorced.
They got divorced
Too
in
bad.
2012, but they married in 2001, right after this movie.
Good
I
for
always
them.
thought Eflon and Kaplan were
No,
a
they're
couple.
not. They're
They're
not
just a good
They're
creative
buds,
team.
I guess so.
Alphon Kaplan. Wow. Wow. Mater.
Wow.
Melissa, are you here? You're back? Wait, we haven't done all those bits yet.
No.
Melissa, we're going to do a bunch of bits with you later.
Wow. This is nuts. Okay.
Yep.
So
Breckenmeyer's cute.
yeah, he's a cute guy.
That's
He's got
my
the
hot
face.
take.
He's doing the hot face.
But Bud Sex du jour.
Stole it from Seth Green.
Everyone loves it.
Right.
Right away, the movie is leading with one of its strongest qualities.
Yeah.
Which is this movie gets the music so fucking right. So fucking right. It's one of the greatest soundtracks in the history
Yeah.
of film. Because all the songs in the movie essentially are the fictional songs by the band, other than playing like Love Will Keep Us Together for like 15 seconds. Like a couple sort of, diegetic
They got some good
moments.
names on there.
Yeah.
Produced by Babyface.
Babyface, Letters from Cleo.
Letters to Cleo.
Sorry. Fountains of Wayne wasn't responsible for the du jour stuff, right? Because I know they did.
The lead singer of Fountains of Wayne.
Yeah.
Wrote Pretend to Be Nice, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because he also did That Thing You Do.
Right.
He was-
I was thinking about that great fictional bands of film, the Oneaters.
Yes. He
They
was
have
kind
one
of running
great
the
song.
table.
Right,
But they put together a really good group of people. And the 2 things I love are that, say for one example, which I'll point out just a moment from now,
Oh boy.
I think the songs are genuinely good.
Yes.
They're good parodies of the types of songs at the time without
Yeah.
losing quality. And other than Seth Green, I think every vocalist they hire actually sounds like it could believably be the person singing.
Seth Green, though, like
Yeah,
very
Seth Green's is
specifically,
weird.
it is. It almost seems like very like that's like the punchline is that he's got a feather boa on,
Right.
jumps in front of the screen, and this like beautiful voice comes out, and
He's the
know
Brian
it's not
Luttrell.
Seth Green.
He's the songbird of the group.
right. But it works.
But like the Rachel Lee Cook is like dead on.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Kay
Yeah.
Hanley of
Letters
to Cleo.
To Cleo.
Well, so
From Cleo, I always forget.
Well, what
Letters to Cleo.
happened was, I guess they had a different artist, and like she sounded like way too scratchy.
Interesting.
Right. They
and
need to be
it didn't-
pop punk,
it
not
didn't
like
match
Riot Girl.
up.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess Letters to Cleo, they had just gone.
10 things I
They
hate about
broke
you,
up.
baby.
They were 10 Things I Hate About You,
Yeah.
and then they were doing well, and then
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was kind of when she was starting to get her own work. I guess she had just had a baby.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
And
right. They
then
played their last
she
show
was
in
doing
2000.
background.
Wow.
Yeah, so she was like, all right, got to make that paper. And
Yeah.
then they were like, okay, we need a new voice. We just fired this other person.
So
and
good.
it lined up really well. And I guess so Rosario, also hilarious because Rosario can actually sing
Yeah.
compared to everyone in the group. Obviously would go on to be in Rent. but the three of them sang backup vocals. So that is actually their voices doing the like, ooh, wee, ooh, wee, and
they
tend to be nice.
Yes, they're. I remember because I watched the making of on the DVD 1,000 times.
It was
growing
really
up.
bad.
But they show them at the final concert scene, like playing without the track, and it's like they did a lot of lessons.
Yeah, they learned how to look like they could be in a band.
And you watch them doing it without the real track, and it doesn't sound great, but they're able to
They can
just
hold
play
guitars
enough
and,
that visually they really
the
sell
chords.
it more than most fake bands, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, that doesn't matter to me because sometimes the real
look
bands
like they're
didn't
having
look like
fun.
they knew how to use guitars anyway.
But that's what I love that
But
this movie,
I think
they
they're great.
feel
Yeah.
visceral.
Yeah. Visceral. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Visceral.
So, going from DeJour's music video onto the plane,
Right.
things are
The
tense.
target plane.
The target plane.
plane.
This is one of those movies where like everyone fucking thought it was what it was making fun of. I remember when the
Did they really?
trailer
That's
came
so
out.
They were not
ridiculous.
paid for.
Yeah, I know.
Get
They
out of
didn't
the way.
collect.
Single
I
We're
know.
not paid except for Puma provided T-shirts for the concert scene at the end.
Fair.
No other payment.
Nothing else.
Yeah, no, I knew that part. Yeah, no.
I think this is my hot take on Josie and the Pussycats.
Mhm.
Josie and the Pussycats is the sponsor scene from Wayne's World.
Right.
Yeah.
If they made it a whole fucking movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But then also expanding into the idea of they're being screwed over by the people who are just trying to like abuse their own weird special thing and make it corporate.
But this is the
And
problem.
Roger Ebert liked Wayne's World, gave it 3 stars,
Yeah.
but a bunch
Wayne's World's
of
pretty
girls do a fun little parody,
Well,
and it's dumb and stupid.
I mean, I do think that's something that doomed this movie.
Very different.
Is,
I do love Wayne's World.
Well,
though.
Wayne's World
Not-
rules.
no,
But I
not
mean,
the
well,
World.
Wayne's World is obviously satire because it's the
Right.
SNL boys, yada,
Right.
yada, yada. But no, I do think, for one, this was like the height of like selling out fucking. I hate sellouts. You know, where like us
fucking
teens were like,
prepackaged.
I'm not gonna
shrink wrap
use
smiley
your Crest
face.
toothpaste.
You read
fascist.
Rolling Stone? What a loser. I read Spin Man.
Was
Yeah,
that
I'm
you,
cool.
Bob Guccione Jr., motherfucker.
Ben? Did you relate to the goth girl in the
Oh yeah,
CD
who gets
store
gets
gets
in the van.
thrown
who
in a
gets-
van?
you were totally
annoying.
So you were at Virgin Megastore, but you were like, oh god,
Definitely.
Like, yes.
I was like, oh, you listen to Blink 182? Sorry, I listen to Millencolin. Ever heard of them? MXPX? Much?
Oh my god! Wow, what a cool dude.
yeah,
Come on, who else?
super
Who else?
cool.
Who are your guys?
My guys were the Ataris.
Sure.
Midtown.
Oh.
Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, I saw them do a
Yes.
jazz set once.
How were they?
Jimmy at World? Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, they played at the Blue Note.
Did you like sour on Jimmy Eat World when they got big, or were you kind of like they were my guys,
I
so I
always
stuck with them? Yeah.
Saves the day, though.
Yeah, sure.
Drew being
Wow.
cool. Still holds up.
You and Pilot should have a spin-off fucking
Oh, my
podcast
God.
where you just talk about this shit.
Yeah, pop punk was such an important part of my development. And watching this movie and being brought back to this time,
Sure.
things were better.
Yeah.
No social
Wait,
media.
are you telling me you think that things were better when you were a teenager and you had all the energy in the world?
What are you trying
and you
to
were having
say,
sex for the
David?
first time?
David,
What are you talking
what
about?
are you
David,
going
only
on?
2,000 kids would understand this.
Wait a second.
Only kids from the naughties.
I do think that
Ew.
sexism dooms this movie because people don't take it seriously at the
Yeah.
time, probably because they're like, well, Josie and the Pussycats, that's like
Right.
that Archie cartoon. Like, that can't be smart, right? Like,
But I even remember when the trailer came out.
you know, you're a young man at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying in the still emerging sort of film blogosphere.
The Filmogosphere?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It sounds like we should nip that in the bud if
What-
we have a time machine.
When it was like, QuickTime Apple trailers.
Oh man, I used
Oh
to
my
download so
God.
many QuickTime Apple
Right.
trailers.
That took like an hour to load.
Medium quality, baby.
When like Ain't It Cool and places were like fucking posting this trailer, everyone was like, oh God, this looks like a new low for product placement.
Sure.
Because people just saw in
Right.
the images in the trailers that there were logos everywhere.
Right.
And then so that was sort of like preset in where when the movie came out, everyone was like, yeah, but it feels like they're kind of having their cake and eating it too. Which, no, they're not. They're just fucking eating cake.
But what's
Yes,
so
they are.
fucking funny
And
about
cake
this
is
is I was
And they stole the cake from the man.
Oh, well, let's not give them too much credit.
well, I was so obsessed with this movie as a kid, and
Yeah.
when I was a kid, like I probably watched
So,
this when I was
Ange,
like 8. Yeah, correct.
How old were you when you first saw this movie?
I was.
Did you see it in theaters? Probably not.
No. This was like purely like.
It was like a classic
went into
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. My cousin was like, "What do you want to watch? I'm babysitting you," and I was like, "It's Spice World or Josie again." And she's like, "Again," and I'm like, "Yes." And
But it also
we got
sounds,
Josie. And
if
so
you
I
were
was
scanning,
like, probably 8.
if you were
2,
scanning
1.
video boxes, you want to see 3 women on the cover.
wearing
That's what
cool
you wanted to
outfits.
see. You want to see Totally Spies, Charlie's
Powerpuff
Angels,
Girls.
Powerpuff Girls. You want to see 3 female characters together.
I'm just like, if I look back at like all my favorite things, it was
It's a triangle of ladies.
I used to like fight kids on the playground over like who is cooler, like the Pokemon or Powerpuff Girls.
Get the fuck out of here with the Pokemon.
Hey,
Pokemon.
Excuse me. One, Pokemon rules.
Detective Pikachu.
2, Detective Pikachu is coming to solve the mystery next year. So look out for that.
More like Fart Detective Pikachu, you know what I'm
Wait
saying?
a second. Someone posted a great screen cap of the video game, and it was just apparently like Detective Pikachu.
Do you hear something?
What is that?
I'm getting some weird feedback in my headset.
It's like
Can
background
Ben,
noise.
do you see anything on the levels? Is
test
anything
this out?
weird going
Ben,
on?
by the way, what's that big white machine you installed in the back of the studio today?
Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, that's just to make the
They
audio
look
better.
so shiny.
Wait, make it crisper? Oh, he's mad at me.
How dare you? I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know what that was, guys. No, it's no big deal. Nothing's happening
Okay.
weird.
We'll just go on with the
To get us
podcast.
back on track.
Yeah.
I am great, though, right? We all agree?
Yeah, of course. Ben's
Sure,
the best
yeah,
producer in
yeah.
the entire world.
He's the
That's
new
like-
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just Ben, your outfit today just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks,
You just
guys.
really pulled
I
it
mean,
together. He's so pretty and popular.
Compelled to wish you a hello fennel.
I'll take it. Thanks.
Anyway, moving on. Pokemon Go, take a walk, more like it. Pokemon Go, hit the streets. I don't need you
I'm
anyway.
going to send it to you. There's some
Yeah.
great screen cap of Detective Pikachu, the video game, where he's just like sitting in a cafe drinking coffee, and the guy's like, he's not even a detective. He just wants coffee.
Have you heard what Detective Pikachu sounds like in the Japanese game?
We're off the
Like
rails.
what? The voices?
Yeah,
No.
because he sounds like Danny DeVito.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's a Japanese Danny DeVito.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Anyway,
so I
Misty
first saw
is an
this as a
empowered
child.
character in the Pokemon cartoons who rules.
Cool. One girl in
Yeah.
the whole
Well,
thing.
you know, Brock is.
What?
Brock is a
Are you
I
guys
don't
saying
wanna
Brock is
speculate on
female
Brock's-
representation?
No, I don't want. No. I don't want to speculate on Brock's sexuality, but he was a very interesting character
He's in
for
love
me.
with the nurses, for goodness sake.
It's a little
Hello,
performative. Sometimes I think Brock might be laying it on a little thick there.
Look, there.
So back to Powerpuff Girls, the superior television show. In my
I mean,
humble
I
opinion.
loved Powerpuff Girls. I'm not really.
It was
gonna fight
fantastic.
you on
Okay,
this.
well, my point being, I forget where I was going. I just, I saw
They
Josie
roll.
when I was about 8. It's very important to me.
Yeah.
Watched it all the time. But what's so funny about it is I just remember being so obsessed with it as a kid, thinking they were so cool, loved all the music.
Right, so you're
And
not
then you
even
watch-
thinking about the
No,
satire,
not
right?
thinking about, I remembered like the McDonald's, bathroom. I vaguely remembered like the Revlon room, but
Sure.
like I didn't, and then like you watch it, I remember watching it again as a teenager and when I was older and being like, wow, there's like a lot of ads in this. And then like the more it got, I'm like, it's in every shot.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, it was totally on purpose. Oh my God, this is an amazing satire. And it's just so funny to me that like I was the like completely clueless like
you're the-
child who just took it all in and was like just the music, not aware of like I'm gonna buy Tide
But
later.
you do love Starbucks.
I do, yeah. Starbucks is the new Dunkin' Donuts.
I just want to say that's odd because like this is a weirdly plotty movie and it's mostly about this corporate malfeasance. Like it's almost
Run by
shocking to
the
me that it's
FBI.
entertaining to a child.
Right. But it was very
I
fun.
know,
but
they're
it
playing
is-
music and it's funny.
It is so funny to think that, it was also targeted at children. But
Right.
like,
And was it a PG-13 or was it?
It was PG-13 because that was a big deal.
Yeah,
that
'cause, like, someone
Archie
says
Comics
shit.
fans,
Yeah.
like parents were like, they took Archie Comics, this beautiful pure thing, and
Right.
said shit one time. How dare they?
And now Riverdale, they're like, there's like a murder
they're
cult and they're all
so
like bathing in
horny.
each other's
Yeah.
cum or
I
mean,
whatever. I don't know what they're doing on Riverdale.
Hot Archie who fucks.
It's like on CW at 6 a.m.
yeah.
I don't watch Riverdale anymore, but the tweets,
I
I'm just like, what
stopped-
kind of bacchanal is
No.
happening on that show?
I'll like briefly go
Archie.
through like an Instagram. I was trying to look up like any Josie. It's also hard to like research Josie without
Oh, right.
coming across.
Well, and Josie and the Pussycats are
I do
in
like
Riverdale.
what they have done with So
Yeah.
the Josie and the Pussycats, Val, Mal, and Josie are all black in the Riverdale show. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
no,
nice,
I
like,
know. You're right. Yes,
interpretation.
yes.
I think the cast is good. They're all interesting, but yeah, it's like another horny
They're very
teen
horny.
show.
I also think the whole like Twin Peaksy stuff is like a little cheesy sometimes, but that's my kid. Some people like that show. It's fine. Did you know that Archie Comics insisted on a tooth brushing scene in this movie because that was wholesome?
That's great.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
Okay, yeah. When do they brush their teeth?
There's a
They
scene.
wash a car and they like soak each other.
And-
like
They do
it's
that.
very-
But no, there's
yeah.
a scene where they're just chatting and they're brushing their, like, in a bathroom or whatever.
I think it's like an opening montage
to preserve
with
the
like
wholesome
random
image
cats
of
in
Josie and the
in their
Pussycats.
trailer that they definitely can't afford because they're eating ramen.
I will say, I definitely like, this is one of those movies I raised Romley on. And she also loved it from like age 6.
So she
Yeah.
was, right. Yeah. it's kind of-
And the thing that she mostly loves is female friendship movies.
Yes.
And I do think even if you're too young to like click into everything, their friendship feels really
Yes.
genuine and earned in
Yes.
this movie. Even from like the opening montage where you see all the sort of like B-roll footage of them together.
yes.
There's just a real genuine camaraderie
Also,
and
like,
chemistry between
everyone in it, except for maybe the two leads, is like dialed up and funny. Any scene that Alan
Right.
Cumming or Missy Pyle
Are
or
you saying
whoever,
Rachel
my
Lee Cook
God.
is not dialed up?
she's not like playing a.
I think she's playing it big, which is what I like about it. I think she's got a weird comedic rhythm in this movie.
I
He's
think
doing one of his weird Griffin things
I
where he
don't
digs
know.
too
The
hard.
Oscar.
I mean, she's not playing. I feel like she's like Harry Potter in
Yeah.
like the central.
She's
like
charming.
she is the lead, but like everyone around her is like more interesting.
I think she's got a weird comic energy.
She's
I have no idea what
she
you're
hits her
talking
head
about.
with
Doing a
the-
jazz set.
She fixes cars.
Yeah, she's cool.
L&M.
She's cool. I mean, I like
All right.
Rachel. She's cool. She spells her name funny. She's always hard to look up because she's like Rachel.
Oh, AEL.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got 2 A's in there.
Wait a second.
Uh-oh.
That rustling. That tree.
Also, why'd you put a tree in the studio?
Corner of the studio.
I thought it'd make it greener.
Well, you're right.
Haram. What are you doing in my tree? My studio tree? Excuse me?
This is my truffle tree.
Oh,
Are you?
there must be some kind of mix-up.
See, Ange, I don't know.
Sir, I purchased this.
Haram.
Sometimes we get a weird amount of people with mustaches coming
Yeah,
to
they
this
just
studio.
Broke in.
Almost as if a corporation bought 16 ads and we're now scraping the bottom of the barrel for mustachioed characters. Haram, let me be.
Okay, can't wait to get sued by Dr. Seuss or whatever, but are you the Lorax?
No, I'm the cat in the hat. I'm the cat in the hat, and I hang out in the truffle tree. We all know this is what the cat in the hat sounds
And
like.
you're, like,
I'm Scottish.
Scottish?
I'm the Scottish cat in the hat who speaks for the truffle trees, and my whiskers have gotten too long. I can no longer eat my haggis because my whiskers get caught.
Well, let me tell you about the amazing shave I get from my Dollar Shave Club razor. Cat in the Hat.
$1? That sounds like a good price. Haram.
It's a good price considering that you get shave butter
Shave butter?
and you get body cleanser.
Can I put it on a toast like in the bitter butter battle?
Don't know what that's in reference
That's
to.
a deep cut Seuss. Only true Seuss kids will know this cut. Haram.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, but you could put it on toast if you really wanted to. I don't recommend it.
I would love to.
Dollar Shave Club, yes, that Dollar Shave Club delivers everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best. You name it. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toothpaste, hair gel, and, butt wipes.
What?
They send those along too.
Who speaks of butt wipes?
Well, it's
Must
the Dollar
be those
Shave Club.
who's down in Whoville. Sorry, my friend is speaking up. Those who's down in Whoville.
Is it another
celebrating their
person now?
Christmas, wiping their butts. You know who I am, of
Oh.
course.
Remember when we wanted these to be short?
No, it's not. It's Horton.
Oh my God.
Horton the elephant.
All right, well, the two of you sit down.
Haram.
Oh, you broke a chair.
Shouldn't have told him to sit down.
No.
Sorry about that. All right, well, Dollar Shave Club makes products for your hair.
What?
You've got hair.
Yes.
Your face.
My whiskers.
Your skin.
It's more fur.
The elephant. I'm talking the elephant.
Oh.
He's got skin.
Me? Yeah.
Your shower. Dollar Shave Club has everything you need to get ready in the bathroom, much more than just razors. They have me feeling and looking amazing.
You do
So-
look hot. Like in the artwork for the podcast.
Oh my God. Yeah, sort of like a tired hot. You know?
Don't oversell it.
Well, do you hate going to the store and cruising up and down the aisles, asking for like, you know, what you need and what you do with it?
Yeah, all those damn who's down in the who store.
Well, then how about you try Dollar Shave Club? I want you to love it as much as I do. And here's a great way to try a bunch of Dollar Shave Club's products. For just $5, you can get their Daily Essentials starter set. It comes with body cleanser, their world famous shave butter, and their best razor, the 6-blade executive, and One Wipe Charlie's, their amazing butt wipes.
I can finally wipe my stinky cat butt.
Keep the blades coming for a few more bucks a month and add in shampoo, toothpaste, or anything else you need. Check it all out at dollarshaveclub.com/check. That's
Okay.
dollarshaveclub.com/check.
So I check to make sure I've ended the URL with a backslash and nothing else at the end of it.
Well, our guests often do. Our surprise guests often do. No, it's dollarshaveclub.com/check.
Sounds like they should maybe call it $5 Shave Club. But nonetheless, thank you very much for the advice. I go back into the tree.
All right, that's enough of that. Back to Josie and the Pussycats.
What a huge star.
Which one, Horton or the cat?
Both
Who's
sounding.
a rock star?
Well, let's look
They
at box
are.
office, though. Who did better?
Who did better, Horton or the Cat in the Hat?
Yeah.
Horton.
I think Horton did better, right?
I think Horton did about 170. I think Cat in the Hat did about 105.
Nailed it. 154 to 101. There, you were a little off.
Yeah, I was a little low, a little high on Horton. Anyway, we go into Dejor's plane.
And isn't it fun to be on this podcast
Oh, it's
and
so
see
fun.
how fucking stupid it is?
Oh my god.
They're fighting over everything. The can has the out-of-date facial hair. Who's making the face?
Yeah.
Brecken's funny.
It's my face. It's my face.
Not
Dejor means
respecting
family.
Not respecting Dr. Zayas.
Dejor means seatbelts.
Is one of the best lines.
Dejor
It
means
is.
cross positions.
It's so funny.
And then it comes up. Hey, I noticed something a little weird
Mm-hmm.
when I was listening to
Yeah, to the new the slave mix or whatever.
the slave
Yes.
mix. And Alan Cumming goes, interesting. Let me check on that.
Alan Cumming plays their manager, who is called Wyatt Frame.
Hot off of Cabaret. This is like Alan
Yep.
Cumming really starting to get.
Oh,
Tony Award
Award-winning
performance.
performance, which I saw on stage.
In
And we're
Cabaret.
going to talk about what else he was hot off of, but that's coming up later.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound so
Alright,
mad.
I'm very excited.
He's also gearing up for the anniversary party.
Yeah.
He's going to direct a movie, people.
Yeah. His sole directorial effort. He co-directed and co-wrote with Jennifer Jason Leigh.
That's right. That movie is okay.
Yeah. He goes in the cockpit and goes like, take the Chevy to the levee.
Take the Chevy to Levy.
Great
It's a
joke.
Don McLean reference. Don McLean, however you say his name.
Also, pilot of the plane is one of the directors.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Ah.
Fun little, and he
Good
puts on a
fact.
little pack,
Elfont, Harry
jumps
Elfont.
out of the plane.
Right. Land in Riverdale. He takes out his little cell phone, goes
Plane crash.
Plane crashes,
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
Yeah. What year did this movie come out?
2001.
2001, but April!
Yeah.
Innocence reigned in America.
This movie could not have come out a year later.
Right.
That's true.
We're going to need.
But it's a joke about all the real people who've died in
Right.
plane
Yeah.
crash.
They changed Lilo and Stitch after 9/11.
They did. It was
Yes.
supposed to be
They were
Stitch hijacking
Stitch
a
was
plane.
hijacked a plane.
A commercial airline. Do you know
This
this?
is a real thing that happened.
I did know
Stitch
this,
hijacked,
yes.
Stitch
And it was,
hijacked
like,
the plane, and then
fully animated.
and then an alien ship
Yes.
that's trying to catch Stitch is shooting down the plane.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And they had to reanimate it to be like, oh, we stole a spaceship.
Right.
So
They
it's
like
fine.
painted a spaceship over the airplane
Right.
and then cut
And-
out a bunch of shit.
And the Spider-Man fix and after 2001 was
Right.
the two
all the
towers,
American
yeah.
flags.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. At the end.
Well, and
But
also
they didn't have to worry about it in this way.
You know, you mess with one New Yorker, you mess with all of them. That scene.
That's like my favorite.
Yeah.
I love that line.
I remember the groans in the audience in the UK when
Really?
that line. Oh,
in New
yeah.
York, people went ballistic.
Yeah, not in
Oh,
London.
I saw Spider-Man Homecoming.
Sure.
Or maybe I guess it was one of them. There's so many movies. Captain Civil War. When
Okay.
it just
Oh.
cuts to Queens. I
Yeah.
saw it in Queens and it was so beautiful.
That was fun.
It was real fun. We had a
saw
good
it-
time.
Yeah.
Everyone went, hey, that's where we are.
So we
That's
heard
this borough.
we hard cut from Cumming saying we're
Are
going to
you
need
putting
to
us
find a
on
new
track?
venue.
Wow. Oh my God. Mr. Back on track.
The
Hard
committee
cut to
trackmaster.
Coming, yeah.
And then it goes to
We have been talking for an hour.
a music video for 3 Small Words,
Uh-huh.
which I remember going with my dad and my brother Jamesy to the Foot Locker because James needed to get new sports
New
sneakers.
kicks.
Foot Locker is the new
Yes.
CSW.
And he took an hour and a half to pick his sneakers, and the Foot Locker TV was just playing the Three Small Worlds music video in a loop,
Okay.
which was like a month before the movie came out.
So
and then
you knew everything.
I was like, this song fucking rules. I knew it by heart, but I also had seen the music video so many times that when in the movie it goes from this very polished, like they're a fucking here rock band to the reveal of them in the bowling alley. Killed for me because I had like bought the music video as a real substantive.
They're already famous at that point.
Right.
And
it's really well shot.
It is.
Also, that song also secretly dirty.
Is it? What's the
Punk Rock Prom Queen, Brown Paper Magazine. There's a line, don't you want to come inside? Like they purposely, they purposely made it like really dirty.
6 whole hours,
they
5 long days.
They wrote that song
for All Your Lies
to come undone. Those 3 small words came way too late because you can't see that I'm the one.
They say 2 twice.
But there's another line about like glossy double spread, open up inside your head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Glossy double cover spread, opened up inside your head. A black cherry paradise, half the sugar, twice as nice.
No one's little red
spice.
Corvette, which is a song. That song is about vaginas.
Yeah, I mean,
Prince.
So you're saying this
Prince has never written a song that wasn't dirty.
Are you saying this whole song's about vagina?
Well, I mean, Backdoor Lover is about, but
I know it is, but I've been listening to this song.
I don't think the whole thing is.
It's just got a lot of innuendo. You're saying,
right? Well, the purpose was they
Got a
wrote
lot of
this one at the last
innuendo,
minute.
David.
They were going to do a different movie at the start.
A different
comedy
song.
points. They were going to do a different song.
Yeah.
And I think they were just like, we need more songs or whatever. And the directors wrote that one, and they were like. And I think they had the opportunity to make it. They thought all the other songs were a little too polished, so they wanted to make one a little more like grungy.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's see what kind of like dirty shit we can kind of sneak into this without, like getting in trouble. So that's what the song is, kind of like them sneaking it in. Again, don't know how they open with Backdoor Lover. It's fantastic.
It's also,
it is.
But this song was also a little bit sneaky
of that decade. I listen to this
It's
all
so
the
good.
fucking time.
Pretend
It's
to be
so
nice
good.
and 3 small words are my favorite.
Let's remember that in 2000 there had been the O-Town single "Liquid Dreams." I had to double check, which is the dirtiest pop song of all time.
You're forgetting the theme to Ghostbusters.
By Ray Parker Jr.
Who you
Yeah, a
gonna
song
call?
all about how good ejaculating feels.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Oh, wow.
That song
You
is
Are the Star of My Liquid
so
Dreams,
fucking
Griffin.
dirty if you look at the lyrics.
All right, so we've got
Invisible man hiding in your bed.
Plane crashes.
When it comes through your door, unless you just want some more.
I'm still mad that we didn't get like a sexy ghost scene with Kate McKinnon.
I know.
Oh wow, yeah.
They really
And the
should have had
recreation of the
reversed the
Dan
balance,
Aykroyd.
you're saying? Yeah.
That would have,
the Kate
feminism would
McKinnon
have
oral
been
sex
solved.
ghost dream.
Right.
It's so
She
weird.
would've made a
I
great
think that
face.
no one on the internet would have had anything to say about that
I
either.
don't think so.
Right.
No.
Was I talking about this with you, Ben? How weird it is that the ghost blowjob in the original Ghostbusters is a dream sequence
We were
within
just
a
talking about this.
montage.
It's very strange.
Yeah, we were talking about this last week.
You guys talk about that every week.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Dan
yeah.
Aykroyd's
Ghost
getting
blowjob dream.
by a ghost.
Yeah. Well, because there's just so many layers to it and it's just at the end of the day weirdly unnecessary.
It feels like
it's
he
not even a good
refused
joke
to take it out of the script.
It's almost
and
as if like
Reitman's
sex gets used as just like
Right.
a punchline.
Well, he I think just one excuse to do his hilarious crossed eyes routine.
Right. It is a good face.
But it's like he refused to take it out of the script, and Reitman was like, "Fine, we're gonna shoot it, but it will literally be a dream in a montage. Let's invalidate it as much as we can. In a movie about ghosts being real,
Right.
Let's have one fantasy sequence that lasts for 3 seconds during a musical montage about business booming."
So Josie and the Pussycats.
Right.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Yeah. He's in Riverdale. He finds the Pussycats by almost running him over.
Right.
I mean, this movie gets to the plot.
Well, but you're forgetting some stuff. Just they're fucking failing. They got
they're not
poor
doing
branding.
great.
They're wearing little hats. The Cabots are making fun of them.
Paolo Costanzo. Oh my god! Wait, throw those over.
I feel like a punk rock prom queen right now. And just brought us cat ears.
These are good cat ears. Where'd you get these?
At a dollar store in Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Merchandise spotlight.
Merchandise spotlight.
For the listener at home.
The first of 4 merchandise spotlights
Yeah.
we're gonna do.
Yeah, Paolo
So
Costanzo's
cute.
their manager, which is how you know you're fucking up. When the 4th lead of Joey is your manager.
Maybe they should have
When
bumped.
the 6th lead of Animorphs is your manager.
Maybe they should have bumped coming to lead so Costanzo could have taken supporting actor.
I mean, he would have taken it.
He's so good in this.
Man, Costanzo's Wikipedia profile picture is weirdly hot. Check it out.
Yeah,
I would.
I love him in this movie.
Who is he in this movie?
He's the manager. You know, the...
Alex Cabot.
Alex, yeah.
Okay.
It's Alex and
The
Alexandra.
guy with the crazy
Cabot.
outfits. Yeah.
Yes. And he's very
They're terrible
susceptible
manager,
to the
yeah.
marketing machine.
Right.
Is their manager, but
Cries
he's
outside of a Steve Madden.
fucking up.
Yes.
People roll up just to fucking mock these girls. You'll never be as big as DeJour.
Right.
And Alan M., Josie's biggest crush, all he wants is for her to fix the carburetor.
We don't remember any other parts to his bit.
Josie didn't.
Did I overheat the something?
Right.
Something.
Okay.
So you're
That
saying...
song's not as catchy as
No,
the other
it's
one
not.
because
You're saying-
Alan M wrote it and he sucks.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to get to this.
He's okay.
Alan M.
He's so boring.
He's a fucking dweeb.
Is
He's the
it
hottest
okay?
man in
Get the
Riverdale.
fuck out of here,
It's
Alan
small
M.
pool in Riverdale. He's the hottest.
Do
guy.
we feel
By
that
default.
Alan M is like a little bit of a manic pixie dream boy?
Yes.
Well, yeah, except he's like barely manic.
Yeah.
He's kind
Right.
of a
No, he's
wet
not manic.
blanket.
He's a
subdued
blank
pixie
slate with
dream boy.
which
Yeah.
to like ultimately like support Josie.
Right, but it's like he's just like standing there for her, you know, waiting to get asked out or whatever.
That's
and it's
also
like, come on,
exactly
man.
what he was in the comics and the cartoon, though. He was a hunky guy, and you were like, "Why aren't they dating?" He's this beautiful boy.
But he is
and
not
he's got
hunky in
nothing
this
he's
movie.
contributing.
He's not. I mean, so Gabriel Mann, he's kind of cute,
He's in
I guess.
stuff.
It's
He's
just
in
lame
stuff.
too. I just want to say I don't like that he is like a folk act. Josie is way cooler than that.
I know.
hell yeah.
He should have been like a punk,
Right.
Or if you wanted to make him really different, make him into like hip hop.
Right.
I mean,
I don't like that.
in
He's
the-
like has like a harmonica like rig and a acoustic guitar.
Yeah, I know.
It's
His
like,
mouth
oh,
organ
man,
is super lame.
that's so lame.
He in the comics, I forgot that he basically just looks like Fred from the Flintstones.
Yeah.
I mean, from Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo. He's just a
Like,
skinned Fred.
Yeah, with like, but like,
Reskinned. Not
Uh,
skinned. He's not veins and bone.
I
Yeah.
mean, like-
Yeah, he looks exactly like...
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. He was just like a boring, handsome guy.
I know. I feel like I'm happy. You
Say
don't
it.
want
Say it.
Well, you don't want Josie to be mean to him.
No.
But like, I would kind of dig it if like in the end, like he misses his fucking shot and she ends up with some other cool person.
he only is interested in her when she's in this like smoking hot dress. He's like, oh my God, it's almost as if I didn't notice you before because
Yeah.
I'm only getting to objectify you now.
They almost she's all that her, even though she fucking
She looks the
looks
same.
incredible
She
the
looks the same.
entire movie.
Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. So in She's All That, they make the effort
Right.
to make her dorky.
She takes off glasses.
Initially, I know that she is smoking for the entire movie,
Right.
but at least she's
Ponytail,
like,
She wears overalls,
right, got the
paint
overalls.
splatters,
She's doing
right.
the painting.
Yeah.
You know, like she's
Yeah.
sort of like, you know, in this, she's all that from minute one.
She is all that.
She is all
And
that.
then, yeah, okay, she wears some like blazers, no shirt. You know, she's got some cool looks once she's,
Yeah.
you know, been
Right.
mega recorded. But like, she's smoking from the start.
No,
Hair
they
is
do
so
a whole
good in
makeover
this movie.
scene. Did
Yeah.
you know they like just burned
Her hair
off
is
all
cool.
her hair?
Really?
Well, because she
God,
they,
poor
Is that
Rachel.
what ruined her career?
Well, they-
Is she bald? Is she like white ass Willie?
they
White ass Wally. I fucked it up. God damn it. Go on, Ange. Sorry.
they kept dyeing her hair red while they were filming. Because it's like a very weird. It's very
I know. It's
Reba.
barely, yeah. It's
and they-
very Reba.
They
Yeah.
kept dyeing it, and they I think it just like really
It
fucked it up.
damaged
So
her
she
hair.
ended up like cutting it all off, bleaching it, so she had like a very kind of blonde
Wow.
cut underneath, and then they shoot. So I think I haven't like analyzed this, but I guess in some parts of the movie it's like legit hair, and in other parts it's a
It's
wig.
a wig? Okay, because it's supposed to look like she has dark hair that she has dyed red
Right.
over it. Like they're not going for like a
Which
real
she can
redhead.
definitely afford on
Right.
their like $0 budget.
This
the
movie
flip
cost
is so
$40 million.
cool, though. It was pretty expensive.
That's a lot of money for
Made
2000.
And I
Yeah,
remember
it
like
was-
Entertainment Weekly.
it made like 15 domestic
Yeah.
and like $500,000 worldwide. Like it made nothing outside
Right.
of the United States.
Entertainment Weekly, like spring movie preview, they were like, this is going to be huge. This is the thing. This is like a spring blockbuster. Cartoon adaptation movies were big. Rachel Lee Cook was big.
Sure.
Josie,
I mean, She's All That.
Charlie's Angels had been big. Like they
The
were
year
like,
before,
this
yeah.
is fucking, we're rolling.
Right. Girl power.
And I saw it. I went on a date to see it. The girl I went with, it was like, this was like her number one most anticipated movie of the year.
Sounds like a real Griffin.
Yeah.
What if we
Let's
realized
go on a
that
date, Griffin.
the time that we had both gone on dates to Josie and the Pussycats, it was actually with each other?
You guys were actually at the same theater.
Yeah.
And you should have just been with each other.
And we were dating.
And we were you're just saying like,
What if it turned out we were dating?
are you trying to make this ship happen?
Maybe.
All right. Yeah, I'm interested.
Ben, should we go?
No, you should start shipping.
No, I'm gonna stay and just watch.
Cool.
You are the peeper.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call, Ange. All right.
you.
So,
I also feel like you graduate to certain titles. I don't know. For some reason, I'm thinking about that right now.
Go on.
Can you check the levels, Ben?
No, everything's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry. Give me more money. Thank you.
Sure. There you go.
Great. That'll do. Yeah.
Ben, I have some money. Would you like some?
Yep.
Oh,
Thank you
okay. Yeah.
so
here you
much.
go.
I don't have
Yeah,
any money, I'm
it just
broke.
seemed like you needed some.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for the money. Oh, and massage, David. You're too much.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that I can give you. at
Nature's
any time.
money.
Ben is just
The massage.
The money of hands.
What were you going to say about your date? Were you going to brag?
No, she was just super
That you weren't
pumped
dumped
for this
2
movie.
hours later.
Yeah.
I was not dumped.
How cool.
What you were saying was they were positioning this as like, yeah, this is like the spring teen-centric hit of the summer.
Right.
What wasn't?
Was not. Like, it didn't open well against essentially no competition.
Oh, we'll talk about the box office later, my
Yeah.
friend.
Okay.
But I do think, I think it was hampered by Archie Comics brand was like not cool at all.
No.
And, Rachel Lee Cook might not have been a star.
All that?
Like,
We weren't smart enough to recognize.
20 comedy points. I think Rachel Lee Cook maybe was not the draw that they hoped she would be. I don't know.
Don't you think if Rachel Lee Cook was peaking now, or let's say 5 years ago.
Yeah, because she's like, she's 40 now. She would be like a legend now in your narrative.
I'm saying, were she born 10 years later,
Uh-huh.
she'd be having a real fucking strong go of it on the like Emma Stone runoff parts.
No, I think she'd be on TV.
I feel like we're maybe ignoring the star power that developed from one Miss Rosario Dawson.
Exactly. The real fucking star of this movie.
And the irony of the plot being, Val's storyline is that she feels rejected. Like her face
Yes,
is
that
literally
she is
blocked out by a
marginalized,
guitar.
right.
She is marginalized. She is the one woman of color in the group.
Yes, she is.
And very much is pushed to the side.
Wait, Tara Reid is white? Sorry.
Yeah. Crazy.
I know.
But
Yes.
the only time I think race is like vaguely acknowledged
Is
is
the
when
Alan Cumming joke?
Alan Cumming trying to explain them, saying they're like 3 Christina Aguileras, but one is very tan.
Or they're like TLC, but 2 of them are white. Like that's the
Yeah,
joke,
yeah, that's
right?
the
But
other joke.
I don't think the Captain Tennille thing is accidental.
That is
they're
also
like,
babyface.
I'm aware.
So great.
But the fact that they're like in both cases, once the act gets big, they're like,
Right,
maybe let's
that
make
is-
it a little whiter and get the one,
Right, yeah. And she's watching it, holding onto a pillow, going,
Yup.
oh no. And then little did we know, Rosario Dawson
Rosario
would
Dawson
go on to
rules.
be in Men in Black 2 the next year.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
And then just go on from there.
Yeah.
She was also in Pluto Nash the next year and 25th Hour. She had a really crazy 2002.
Rent came out in 2005, as did Sin City and Rent came out the same year.
That's true. This seems to be more formative for
weird.
Ange than for us.
I just Googled it last
I
night.
love Rosario.
I love Rosario Dawson. She had been in Kids.
Mm-hmm.
That was her debut, which is a very wholesome movie.
When are we gonna do that miniseries?
Larry Clark.
Who's wrote it? What's his name?
Harmony
Gummo.
Korine.
Harmony Korine.
I want to talk Gummo.
Yeah, when we do a Ben's Choice mini series, it will be Harmony Korine.
He's got a new movie coming out, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
the Shia LaBeouf movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, she's been in He's Got Game, which
Uh-huh.
she's great in, and she's been in some other stuff. Down to You, remember that?
The fucking David Duchovny.
No, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Julia Stiles and
that
Selma
one.
Blair and Ashton Kutcher.
What's the David Duchovny mini driver?
Return to Me.
Right.
That's a Bonnie Hunt picture
One of the few.
in which her
Not the
husband
only.
dies and the heart gets transplanted in David Duchovny and she falls in love with
falls
David
in
Duchovny.
love with the new
movie's
owner of her
kinda
husband's
dark.
heart.
I've seen it. It's kind of dark.
It's like they took too literally the heart as a visual representation of love.
Yes.
And they were like, well, you fall in love with someone's heart, literally.
Right, exactly. The
You must
muscle that
marry
pumps their
the person
blood.
who has that organ.
Yeah.
But you're right. Okay, so Ange,
Yeah.
some other things she was in. Shattered Glass. I forgot she's in that.
Right.
Alexander, which she's absolutely gorgeous in. Sin City, Rent, Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of the love interest. I've seen Clerks 2.
I remember Kevin Smith was launching like an independent Oscar campaign for Rosario Dawson. That movie, much like David Lynch, with Laura Dern in Inland Empire.
Yeah.
And he was like, people say this is a hard performance. Imagine having to fall in love with Brian O'Halloran on screen.
I mean,
and it's like, that actually is a fair point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a very hard thing to make believable.
Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, which she's amazing in. It does take her a while to like
kind of build up.
Yeah, because she's always in stuff.
But she's
what would you say is
Black
what is like the quintessence? Like when you think of, Rent was probably her biggest, like first, like huge.
I guess so.
When you think of like her early,
because she's
roles.
the lead in Rent.
She's
she's
lead.
taking
she sings,
the Daphne
which she
Rubin-Vega
does not
role.
really get to do in Josie.
No, she doesn't. And she's, I guess, now I'm getting annoyed.
I think
because I think Rosario Dawson rules, but now I'm realizing she's a recurring character in like the Marvel Netflix shows. Like, come on, what's going on here?
Part of the Marvel Netflix
exactly.
She's so good.
I know she's like credited in a lot of them, but still, it's like,
where's her
TV show or her starring role? Like,
yeah.
And I'm looking
Didn't
through this.
Didn't she do that shitty Katherine Heigl sort of like flipped Fatal Instinct?
Isn't that Unforgettable?
Yes, right.
Yes, and she was Batgirl in your favorite movie.
That's her best
Lego
performance the last
Batman.
couple of years. She's so good in that.
Lego Batman.
Which she's very funny in.
She went to Harvard for police.
She showed up for Sin City 2, which
good for her.
Credit for showing up, I guess.
I think that functions as community service.
And of course, and Trance is about her vagina.
Okay,
but it literally is. That's the plot point in that fucking awful movie.
I know,
and it's very weird.
It sucks.
Danny Boyle made that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Do you guys know who else auditioned for Val?
Shoot.
Beyonce.
I did know this, and she wasn't funny, right?
No, she was very shy. They said, which if you have studied Beyonce as I have,
this is in her shy period.
Yeah. Well, no, she's. I think she's genuinely. She keeps to herself, and she had to make a persona Sasha Fierce to. I mean, she made. When did Goldmember come
Goldmember the
out?
same year? The year after?
2003.
My friend.
Okay,
so she was kind of like working up to it.
No, it's 2002, Griffin.
What was
Check
Carmen?
yourself.
Jesus Christ.
Carmen Hip Hop.
Carmen Hip Hopper is 2001. I think that's the same time as
right. So she was like kind of venturing into like they're all like in their 20s at this point.
Yeah.
Also auditioned Aaliyah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know that, which is a bummer to even think about.
Also a bummer, Left Eye Lisa Lopez.
Wait, what? Wait, is there some kind of a curse?
I know.
Associated with this audition?
Both of those women were almost Val in this movie about like rock stars dying tragically.
Wait a second. Also auditioned John F. Kennedy Jr.?
Wait a second. What's going on here? I was going to make a 9/11 joke at the same time.
I knew you were.
All right. I decided not to.
I knew you were.
Speaking of cursed careers, the other Pussycat is played by Tara Reid.
In her best performance unequivocally, right? There's no argument.
I'm trying to even think of if there's a... I mean, Big Lebowski, she's pretty funny in.
I was going to say that's her second best performance.
She's weirdly terrible in American Pie.
Awful.
And I think it's because she's better doing comedy. Like, she's better as, like, in this...
Yeah.
Right. She gets to just, like, play with this and have fun.
Like, play, like, this sort of the
I will
dits,
say, besides the terrible special ed joke in this movie, the one other...
Joke that makes you go...
Well,
the Sign?
The Sign is actually fantastic.
Okay.
She says, honk if you love Pussycats. Cats is blocked out.
Yeah. I think
and then she runs away with her arms up like a Muppet.
I think the joke is funny because she runs away with her arms up.
Right.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But I do think it is like a little like, all right, what are we going to do with the third one? It's like she's dumb and blonde. She's very dumb in this movie.
That was also, that was the dynamic in the cartoon.
It is the dynamic in the cartoon,
it's
but it's a little tired.
It's reductive.
I will say, though, the one thing this movie does that I think is like a little fun with her is that she gets Wyatt right away.
Yes.
She says, they go in there and like, don't you think this is weird? And she goes, yeah, isn't it weird? He ordered like a cappuccino and he wiped off all the foam. And
funny.
like, why didn't he just order an espresso? And also the way he was folding his napkin, like, it's like he's worried that he doesn't fit in. Like, she immediately nails down Wyatt, what is
His
revealed
real,
at the end of the movie. And she's very intuitive. She has the line about the chill going up her spine because of Fiona.
That line's really funny. She's on the O.
It's not the O, guys. But like she has a few lines like that where you're like, oh, like she
nails all her lines. I also think she's really funny in the scene with Carson Daly. Genuinely.
Man. Oh, what a great sentence. Carson Daly.
I'm just going through her career.
She dated after this movie.
For like
he's cast in this, and that whole scene is playing off of the fact that everyone knew them as a couple.
They were
at the
engaged
time.
and broke up. They had like some weird tempestuous romance. I mean, she's had an interesting life.
Last Call, man.
You miss last call. You don't even
Not
miss TRL.
TRL.
You miss last call.
Yeah,
Would
I
you
love
like
that.
DVR it?
No, he'd stay up. That's when
Absolutely.
Ben woke up in time for last call.
Last call was on at 1:30 in the morning. Am I correct?
I need a fix, baby.
I think there are two reasons why Melody kind of works in this movie, despite being a sort
think
of
she's funny.
hokey archetype. One
It's
is
a hooky archetype.
One is Tara Reid plays her without judgment because I don't think she's in much of a position to judge. But I hate
Ouch.
when I see
Ouch.
actors playing dumb characters with a sense of like, look how much smarter than I am than who I'm playing. And that gets to the other root of the thing is I think they write her as not just being like stupid, but being very childlike and genuine. The key is how sincere she is about everything.
Yes.
The moment that makes the character for me is when Josie says, if I could go back in time and change everything I said to you, I would. And she goes, if I could go back in time, I would meet Snoopy.
I love that line.
That's a good line.
With all of my heart, because you know she's going to say something like a little
Right,
off,
you're waiting for the line,
and
right?
then proceeds to say a fictional character that doesn't exist.
But it's not
I
like
that is
also
still
like that
currently
they're
around.
really-
within
So
the
she's
movie, they're charmed by that. They're
Yeah.
like, oh man,
that's what I
like,
love about
I
you.
And
know.
she's in a rotating car about to be murdered.
Oh, that is such a good bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's
so
good.
funny.
I just
I
want-
love
I love you.
I want to say the last 3 lines of her Wikipedia page are really fascinating.
Okay.
In August 2011, Reid publicized that she had married Bulgarian financier Zachary Kayahov.
Yeah.
Then in October announced that they were not legally married. Next paragraph. She dated infected mushroom Israeli musician Erez Eisen from 2013 to 2014.
She dated an infected mushroom?
Yes, that's what she did. And then next paragraph.
Did William S. Burroughs write this fucking
Exactly.
Wikipedia?
He
entry?
just threw the letters up and they fell down. In 2016, she and actor Dean May, never heard of him,
No.
participated in Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars, but were rejected when it was revealed they were not in a relationship. What are you doing, Tara? Come on.
I mean, American Pie is fascinating because literally
Also, how'd they figure
everyone
that
in
out?
that cast got a chance to be a movie star. Like Big Ensemble cast, and they were like, I guess all of them are
Yeah,
leading
Chris Klein
actors.
got like multiple leading roles.
Shannon Elizabeth, Tara
Sure.
Reid, Mina Savari, all of them.
She was in, after this, she was in
American Pie 2.
American Pie 2.
Yeah.
She's in Van Wilder.
Right.
And in American Pie 2, like her character's storyline is that she's having a lot of sex in college. It's the rule
Crazy.
of 3 joke. Right.
Yeah, I remember the scene in Van Wilder where she shows up at the final party, and there's like a really like gauzy, sort of entrance shot of her. My friend leaned over and went, "Oh my god, she's so hot."
Ew.
Who is your friend?
I was like, "Really?"
Yeah, even when I was a teen, I was like, I don't think I'm attracted to Tara Reid. She seems like too much for me. I don't think I could handle
Yeah.
Tara Reid.
She just felt like it was
She was
just
on Scrubs, playing like the cigarette
that's
voice,
right.
kind of like girlfriend. Like,
yeah.
she was kind of cute in like 2 episodes, and then it turns out she's
I feel
sort
like
of like
shortly after she just veered into like I'm hanging out with Lindsay Lohan now.
right. She was in
and
that scene.
group.
Yes.
She was also in My Boss's Daughter
Right.
and Alone in the Dark.
Right.
I
Where
feel
she
like
said
that's the
famously
end.
doing the press tour, my character in this is like smart.
Well put.
Later quoted by the President of the United States. Donald Trump.
And she had a reality show called Paradise, where she traveled to
God.
various places.
Sometimes I feel like we're living in paradise.
Anyway, that's Tara Reid's career. We did all the Pussycats careers.
Right. Are we going back to the plot?
How you doing, Ange?
Doing good. So the plane has crashed in Riverdale.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Great. Oh, fantastic.
Josie and the Pussycats are just sort of straight busking it. The guy, the owner of the store they're playing outside is threatening to call the cops.
Right.
And so they walk out with their instruments as Wyeth is on the phone driving to Paradise by the dashboard light.
Right.
And he stops the
Meatloaf,
car.
also in
They're
Spice World.
walking by in
Oh, yeah,
slow
he's good in
motion. They look at him holding the instruments as
Yep.
number one band in the world.
It's a very good
sign is
shot.
being
Oh, it's
removed.
such a good
Yeah.
bit.
And I love just him taking the shit out of the CD
Yeah,
case
to hold
so he
it.
can see how they look in a little lucite case.
And
And then
then
that's
he
it.
looks directly at the camera and raises one eyebrow.
It's like a Frank Tashlin movie. Like this movie is so fucking on point.
And I think it's very upfront about it, too.
Yes.
Like, I think it's annoying that people
His car
didn't get
says
that.
Ray-Ban in stickers across
Yeah,
the
It's
top.
like, because I remember early on, like, there's that, the bathroom where there's just literally Starbucks logos behind
Yeah.
them. And there's no way you look at that and go like, huh, they were trying to fool me, but I spotted them.
They each had a themed bedroom.
Yeah, it's like a joke, guys.
This movie is
It's
like,
funny.
It's also really tight. It's really cohesive. It has a very like well identified sort of like pitch that's reflected in every aspect of the filmmaking and the performances. The score is so funny in this movie.
John Frizzell.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun.
who weirdly like has written a bunch of episodes of TV now, not as a composer.
Okay.
He wrote an episode of The Office, and he's written like 11 episodes of some procedural that I'm forgetting.
Sure.
But the score is really good at doing those dramatic stings that like get laughs.
Yeah. Anytime Wyatt's doing anything like remotely devious.
Right. And they do this great structural joke where they cut to Wyeth like whining and dining them at the cafe of the Virgin Megastore, right? And only after they're like deep into the negotiations they mention.
No, they're at a Starbucks.
Oh, they're at a Starbucks.
They're at a Starbucks.
Yes.
They
Sorry,
go.
yes.
I think he goes to Mega Records first or after. I can't remember if he gives them. He goes to a record store.
And that's when he
grabs the teen and
throws
that's
her in
when
the
we
van.
know.
Throws
I
her in
think
the
that
van.
happens before he meets
That happens,
Josie.
yes, that's where
because
he's
then he
coming
gets the
from.
call from
Right, because
Fiona
he
and he's
plays
like,
the
yes,
du
I'll
jour.
handle it.
There's also that really great bit where the MTV News thing is pre-recorded. Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny that MTV like allowed this to happen.
I know.
Because they're so squarely being mocked.
Same with Carson Daly. It's crazy they let him play like a murderer in this movie.
Was the show
it's
movies-
really funny that he plays a murderer in this movie.
Was the show that was on what was the fake the show
Making
that
the
you
band or together?
Behind the music?
No, Behind the Music.
Yeah,
was that
VH1.
on MTV?
That's
That was
VH1. So same network.
Sister
Yeah.
network.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like MTV. It's not only that Carson Daly's like playing a murderer. It's like MTV is being so mocked for being the like bottleneck, the pipeline that like feeds us this shit.
Mind-warping children
And
of
it's
America.
not even cool. Like it's
Right.
like lame. Like the movie is like MTV is fucking lame now. TRL is lame. It's a bunch of cardboard people. Like and MTV was like, oh yeah, it sounds funny. Let's do that.
And VH1 Behind the Music, they're all Viacom,
Right.
and this is a Universal movie. Like
I
they're
know.
letting
How is this allowed to happen?
mega entertainment company just take their brand and fart on it.
So Wyatt turns them into the next du jour.
Number one.
The next thing.
The
But
du jour.
I was going to say, I love that they hide within the cut. That's a bit of a time jump. The fact that he actually hasn't heard them at all.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
assume because he's having the conversation
Right,
with
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Wait,
They
he-
go to the bathroom and they go, but he's never listened to our music yet.
Right.
He
Oh,
presents
I
them
thought-
the contract.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah. He's
I was here with real right.
Rock stars
Alan
who wanted
Cumming's
to
so
wreck a deal.
funny.
So goodness.
He's so good. Where is his Oscar?
I remember
Where is his Oscar?
Truly, for this performance, him and we'll get to Parker and spend hopefully like 20 minutes on her. But like,
Yeah, sure. That's what we need to do. We need to spend 20 minutes on her.
my brother Jamesy.
Sure.
I remember him coming home, being
The great
dropped
James
off, the great James Newman, coming home, being dropped off by his friend's mom, who had taken him and his friend to go see Josie and the Pussycats on a play date.
Fair.
And she was telling my parents how bad the movie was.
What?
And she was like, Alan Cumming, it's embarrassing. I have no idea why he did this after Cabaret. He's such a good actor. And that woman was married to a record executive.
So you think maybe she couldn't see the forest from the trees, though?
Kind of, because it's like this performance is fucking
I don't mean to
dead
be rude.
on.
Yeah.
he's fantastic.
And what a
the little
perfect
flip phone.
comedic pitch.
Yeah.
But
And then we quickly they get successful.
yep, of
They
course,
have
there's a little montage
They
of them
literally
climbing the
climb
charts.
the charts.
It's funny.
Very quickly followed by, isn't it crazy? This has all happened in 1 week.
So funny. So funny. I also love
No.
there's the shot when they see the billboard in Times Square where they're rebranded as Josie. and the
Josie.
Pussycats. What do you want
Oh,
to read a
his
comic
line.
book? Go watch an animated series. Go see a motion picture
Called-
Josie and the Pussycats. But they
Prior to that says, would you rather go see the Pussycats?
right.
Or
three fierce, ferocious ladies. So,
Yeah.
they have this beautiful, like, matte painted Times Square.
right.
Where they don't even like take Times Square and put fake billboards over it. They
Oh.
compress all of Times Square into one corner.
Right.
So it's literally like you can't see anything but
It's the
screens
crazy
and billboards.
made up New York.
It looks like Akira
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable.
This movie's great.
And they're in their beautiful like loft apartment.
We
that,
should,
like
and
Right.
as we've already noted a million times, any scene there is some sort of product placement in the background, basically.
somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the themed rooms, like you say.
They each have a theme. That's what I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
Was like that was like the extent of the marketing. I was like, why is their room like Revlon themed anyway?
And the like McDonald's shower with
want
the Fry
lipstick.
Guy loofah.
Yep.
And like it's all
Right.
so funny. This movie's so
And the lipstick
fun.
on the mirror. And then what happens as soon as they
Yeah,
mean,
well,
So they do
so Melody's starting to get these
Pretend to Be
messages.
Nice.
Right. That's their big
Another
song.
amazing
They
song.
see the machine.
they see the big white mixing board thing that puts the
The
subliminal
Mega
message in.
Sound 3000.
Correct.
Right. Which looks a lot like that machine right behind the truffle tree. But anyway.
Just ignore it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
Why
for
plays
more
it back
money.
to
I
them.
appreciate that.
It sounds exactly the same. Here you go. There's
Oh, my
everything
wallet's
I
empty
own.
now.
Actually,
Ben,
you can-
do you want to borrow my credit card?
Great. Yeah. Thank you so
Uh,
much.
Yeah.
Here's
David.
my
There you go.
contract. You now play Arthur on the Tick. Have fun making a TV show.
Wait a second. I think he actually just wanted to give you that one.
Wait. Yeah. No.
No, it's cool. It's really easy. It's really easy.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
You won't be tired.
at all.
Mhm.
It's really good for your mental and physical health. Anyway, so
I'm a moth now.
Pretend to be nice.
pretend to be nice.
Yeah.
They're overnight the biggest band in the world.
Right.
Right.
Sold out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they still haven't done a concert yet.
They haven't done a concert yet, but now
But they have a big concert coming up.
That is going to be a pay-per-view on like AOL.
It's a pay-per-view on
it's
AOL.
their first show ever.
and it's
before
being
that-
like sponsored by Kodak.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And you have to get
At a-
your 3DX headphones.
3D.
Right.
Yes. Your Kodak headphones.
At a arena that does not exist in New York City.
Of course.
No.
It's so large.
But it's like the Beatles playing Shea Stadium. It's like, here's the coming out concert for
course.
who we're
Right.
telling you
1
are
week
going to be the
later.
next great band.
Yeah.
But before
They're
that,
the new du jour.
they got to put some FaceTime in with the head of Mega Records.
That's right.
Throwing a ball in celebration of herself for discovering another great band.
Her name is Fiona.
She's played by Parker Posey.
Oh my god.
She's great. Parker Posey coming off of like Best in Show. Like Parker
Yeah.
Posey at the height
House
of
of
her
Yes.
powers.
Like she's like
She's
indie comedy queen.
so
Yeah.
good.
And the moment where it's Fiona and her whole getup flanked by like 4 hunky dudes.
They're lifting her up. She's descending a staircase. Might be one of the greatest like entrances
to like
in
the
film
Hollywood
history.
musical cover of Pretend to Be
of-
Nice.
that I think that might be of all the songs. I think my favorite just might be like the why do you do what you do to me, baby?
It's
As
so
she's
good.
just like lavishly like.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Alan Cumming is like the genie in Aladdin, just like running up to random people, being like, "Isn't she fabulous?"
I feel like obviously these performances are heightened,
right.
but Fiona reminds me a lot of real people I know in the entertainment industry.
Oh boy!
Wait a second. Are you saying that Hollywood's full of phonies?
Yeah, but also the like absorbing like I now had some small fingerprint in something that's like a big sensation. And then needing to like enter to the music and make it like part of your identity where
Right,
it's like,
yeah.
I'm the one.
And then lands with her arms out and goes, "Welcome to your party,"
Yeah.
as if, and surrounded by photos of her
right,
face.
ice sculptures of her name.
Right.
And she just wants to be friends with the Pussycats. She wants to gossip and eat junk food.
Let's
except
gossip.
she puts the one potato chip on her plate and she goes, "Oh, I'm such a pig," and then puts it back.
The Pringle. It's really
Yeah.
that scene is really surreal. This scene is this whole sequence is incredibly surreal.
Are we?
Yeah.
I believe we are introduced to her
First,
prior to this.
Yes, that's
she does
true.
the
on
FBI
the phone, right? She does the demonstration of the subliminal
We
message.
With
haven't
Eugene
talked about
Levy.
Eugene Levy.
That's very funny. All blue. He's like denim on denim in that video.
Yeah.
He's very funny.
Now, I would like to point something out
Yeah.
Okay.
that this character and sort of like what she is trying to do subliminally,
Mhm.
okay, is an interesting metaphor for the Facebook scandal of today.
Okay.
Go on.
It is
Ben's reading
controlling
us off
people through
some
the
poetry.
media.
Poet laureate over here.
And it's just really interesting in how ridiculous this seems, right? When
Yeah.
watching this movie, but it essentially is now happening.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying I can't trust Facebook?
No, but you can trust Instagram.
They're not owned by Facebook, right?
No, they're good.
Great.
Instagram is the new Facebook.
That was like a conversation starter.
5 comedy.
Sure. Heath Ledger.
Wait,
Matt Damon.
Question. Oh man. Ben, how do you feel about the fashion? You were texting me about Fiona's outfit.
Great question.
All the fashion
hold
in
on.
this is
Let me
great.
put on my soap shoes,
Yeah.
which come with a grind plate in the bottom, so you can jump and grind down staircases.
3
Cool.
people are gonna love this.
I'm gonna
I
put
don't know
on
who
my
they are.
Stussy sweatshirt
Okay.
that I bought at PacSun. All right, and then I'm gonna throw on my Tommy Hilfiger Carpenter's jeans.
Your point is that it's 2001.
Wait a second. Are you telling me this movie was 2001 encapsulated in clothes?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, man.
This movie
What else we got?
is so obsessed with fads and trends of the moment
music,
that it
right.
actually works so well as like a time capsule.
I think
It
this
doesn't
movie is the perfect
feel
time. Music
dated
wise,
because
style
it's
wise.
like so
It's right because it's so specific.
contained.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Hold on, I just
right.
gotta crack open a Zima.
But you don't even drink, man. That's the line in the movie.
I think I'm gonna start.
I think
I think
I'm
we
gonna
gotta start.
which is actually kind of clever because it's not just wholesome shit that they're trying to brainwash people.
Right.
with.
Nah, Patty Chayefsky.
Well, they got so the idea
fucking
is that
quivering.
they're brainwashing the youth of America because
Yes.
they have disposable income from babysitting
Yeah,
and
But also,
the like.
the youth of America are cool enough to
Right.
they can't just be told to like something.
Right.
Yeah.
They got to
They
be
have to
tricked.
Sneak
Yeah.
it
They have to think
under
it's their idea.
music.
Right.
Pink
So
is
that
the
is
new
what
black.
happens. We are introduced to Parker Posey and her amazing outfits
Orange is the new
with
black.
feathers. Where when she turns, we get like a fun little sound effect, like a little.
But the Eugene Levy line where he says rock and roll music, or as some is known in some cultures, rock music, is really funny.
He's really good in this.
I know.
And then Fiona
and
has
I
her,
am an actor.
her
And I'm
fun.
an actor.
That was
No,
that
I
was
said
close.
cappuccino.
Yeah. I like that this movie treats Eugene Levy like he's Brad Pitt.
Right. But he's perfect, and that scene is perfect.
Yeah.
You've got Tom Butler, who later would play the president in something or other, right?
Yeah.
He's a president
Yeah.
in something.
The butler did it. Yeah, he played the president. Butler did it.
Starts as an FBI agent,
Yes.
moves on
who-
to becoming the president.
But I love. I
Is
mean,
he
we'll
the
get to
president
this.
in X-Men 2?
Isn't he?
In X2 X-Men United?
I think he is.
I think he is, right? I think that's the one that he's the president.
Are we going to go on an X-Men tangent?
I mean,
Alan Cumming. It's
Alan Cumming though.
my other favorite
Oh.
Alan Cumming performance.
It is a pretty good Alan Cumming performance.
But Nightcrawler, on the record, my favorite X-Men.
I'm
in
not
comic
surprised
or
by
in
it.
music?
He's French.
Comic
He's
and music,
German.
I love his music.
Okay.
Nightcrawler.
Not finding who. I'm not going to look this up. We have to talk about Josie.
He's my
Josie,
favorite in
it-
comics and in movies.
Parker
Wow.
Posey.
Parker Posey.
Brainwashing the youth of America.
Yeah.
Trying to. Turns out she has something even more devious. She's trying to hide from the FBI
She's trying to make
and the
herself.
American government.
Her bit of where she's just like, where she keeps like being like, yes, of course, and then says something like, oh, wait,
was
for
close.
them.
You'll
That
never,
was
yeah,
close.
you'll never see it
she
coming.
keeps doing that.
Yeah,
It's funny, though.
Sees what coming?
The way
What?
that she plays the arch, like kind
So
of
good.
Yeah.
evil character, it's
Yeah.
so like perfect. God, I love Parker Posey. I have such a crush on her. She is a dream.
I will. So technically her and Wyatt. I mean, Josie and the Pussycats is a comic book. They are comic book villains, and I
Yes.
would argue some of the best comic book villains
They're like supervillains.
we have seen
Yeah.
in cinema.
I'm pointing it
David's
in.
playing an answer.
This is
She
a
nailed
good
it.
point.
Yep.
Nailed
It's a
it.
point for a point.
She's better than I would say some Marvel villains.
1 point, and
She's
She's better than a lot of Marvel villains.
A lot of Marvel
I mean,
villains.
low bar, but still.
well, I'm saying okay. She's not as good as Malkeith. She's not as good.
We are not going through a list of every Marvel villain.
Wow. I think we should go through a list of every Marvel villain right now.
Malkeith.
Parker Posey would be a good Marvel villain, though.
She'd be a good Malkeith.
She should have been in Thor.
Yeah, she
The
should have been in
Dark
Thor.
World.
Did you see Christopher Eccleston saying that making that movie was like having a gun in his mouth?
Yeah.
Christopher
No.
Eccleston seems like a not chill guy.
Yeah,
gotta be
not at
honest. Because he also said that, like, making Doctor Who was like having a gun in his head or whatever. Like he seems
Yeah.
stressed out by making
So
things.
he made Thor too.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Malekith.
Can I just make a quick observation?
Shoot.
I just wanted to get to say it on the
This
podcast.
is your chance to
Thank
like
you.
whatever you want to. Yeah.
Everyone, I would just like to point out that Thor Ragnarok is just the Emperor's New Groove. Thank you very much.
Whoa.
It opens with him speaking directly to the camera.
Holy cow! So you're saying he's David Spade?
He is not ready to rule his land,
Right.
And he's
He has to go on like a-
too cocky. And then an older woman steps onto the throne, and arguably is has a better right to that throne.
Right, sure,
kinda
but
missing
also
her
has a
thing.
slightly homicidal
Is
edge
a little
to her.
is
right,
a little
yeah.
evil, but you kind of get her point. Like maybe she should be in charge, and then
Carl
the
Urban is
leader.
Kronk.
I was gonna say.
I would say Valkyrie might be. Well, oh no,
I think Valkyrie is Poncho.
is Pacha.
Yeah.
Well, who's the Hulk? Are Valkyrie and the Hulk kind
I feel
of
like
both
Valkyrie
Pacha?
and the Hulk are both
you're right.
Pacha.
They're each
Yeah.
half of right.
Because she doesn't want to help him and is kind of like forced into it to get some type of benefit out of
Right.
it
She's
for
the,
herself.
she's the gruff heart. Hulk
Right.
is the sort of brute force.
Right. And I would
Wow.
also argue that she is a brute force. But he gets like launched out very far away from his phone and it's from his home.
Yeah.
And
Also
then
his
he
phone.
has to Sure, he has to find his
Yeah,
way
he's to
back.
go on like a spiritual and physical journey.
Right,
of, like,
and he's
trial
humbled. He's
and-
humbled by the journey and
right.
having to
Wait a
defeat.
second.
And he gets his
that
eye plucked
person.
out in the Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And didn't Sting write 6 original songs for Thor Ragnarok that were all cut out?
Yeah. Because they were all on the zither or something. I don't know.
I mean, it was short on Eartha Kitt, but it was
Well,
fun regard.
Eartha Kitt did die in between making those two. So.
Bad career move.
Yeah, exactly. She could have been a Ragnarok otherwise.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay, anyway, yeah.
Also,
point
Dark
made.
World's the
Thank you
best
very
Thor
much.
movie. Don't have it.
I like the ending. I'm with David. I like Dark World.
Yeah, it's the best.
Fine.
yeah, it's the best one.
I don't hate it. Ragnarok is fun, but
Ragnarok's
anyway,
fine.
it's
Dark
the
World.
Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
He's literally
I mean,
Yeah,
now
same
I'm just
start.
gonna
Except
watch Emperor's New Groove.
More like the Emperor's Old Groove because it's already been done by Kuzco and Co.
What's his name?
Great movie.
Yep.
We should have done that movie as well as Josie and the Pussycats and We're Back, a Dinosaur Story.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's called.
So the plane has crashed.
So yeah, the
Yeah,
plane
planes
crashed
crashed.
in Riverdale. No, I don't know.
Did we cover the opening
premiere
credits
of
at
the
all?
concert.
This is Universal Picture.
Oh, should we start
Who's first
recording?
credited? Okay, yeah.
I did want to mention this is a Mark Platt production.
Yeah.
He of the
Oscar nominee for La La Land.
stole an Oscar for La La Land.
Yep.
He's the one who got up.
He's
and-
the one who says like,
The
"Well, we didn't win
beautiful
anyway,"
blue
or
eyes?
whatever.
Yeah. No.
no,
He's
not
the
that
older
guy.
guy who goes up first, and his speech was, here's to the fools who helped me dream.
Right.
My aunt, then
Yeah,
that was
I
his
know.
intro for listing off the things, and then they snatched his Oscar.
I know. I
You
felt
mean
bad
took
for him
the
because
one they deserved?
Yeah,
that
and gave it to the best
they
movie of the
actually won.
decade.
if I had to go up on any stage, but
Yeah.
the Oscar stage, and then I delivered a really cheesy speech that I had clearly written beforehand,
Here's to the
and
fools who
then
helped
was
me
told
dream.
I hadn't won,
Yeah.
I would have literally vanished from existence out of shame.
If you make a corny speech like that, it's like, but he just won an Oscar. Give him a break.
Yeah, exactly.
He
And then
never
it's
won
like,
an Oscar.
yoink.
It's like, kill the beast.
So I mean, like, this is a short movie. I mean, they're doing the propaganda, and then they make their move against Val because they can tell that Val knows what's up,
Josie listens
Val
to
knows
a
what's up.
disc man in the bathtub.
right? She does, which
While
is
they send them to TRL to
Yeah.
get murdered.
right, which is really funny. And
Right,
there's
Until
also
you get to the Bill Cosby
A
joke,
fun
which
little
used
bit-
to be the funniest part of the movie.
Well,
and
yeah,
now,
like the punchline being, wouldn't it be funny if Bill Cosby was violent against women?
Yep.
right.
At the time, it was absurd.
Aries Spears, man, he's TP and Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
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 So they
They
balance.
both kick their asses.
They do,
Yeah.
and Carson Daly gets beaten up, and then he's
By
hosting
Matt
TRL.
Damon.
by a cardboard Matt Damon.
I know
Yeah.
it's really funny. I just like that he's hosting TRL.
Yeah, I
later,
do
and he's
too.
got, like,
And he's
the-
struggling to
his
put on the
interaction,
second pair of
exactly.
cat
Yeah.
ears.
It's so nasty about TRL.
I know.
Like, it's
Yeah.
I just appreciate that.
I remember going to school and telling everyone, like, Carson Daly's the villain of the movie. You have to see this thing.
And did anyone go see it?
It was very popular within my grade at school
I
at
think
the time.
kids went to see it. I just think it didn't cross over
but
in
not
any way.
enough, clearly. Like, if kids had seen it, it would have made more than it made.
I think you're right. I think it would have made like a 30 million, not a
Because
14.
kids they have all that disposable income. They
Right.
just
That's what this
shelled
movie
out the
teaches us.
money.
But everyone
They
thought
love
this
their
was
Starbucks.
like a 70 movie at at least it was a $70 million film.
Well, it wasn't.
I know.
And then there's so Rachel Lee Cook is bad. Do you like the scene where she's a bad person?
Who's a rock star?
Great suit.
I am.
Her suit is amazing. So she's wearing
a
it's
leopard print.
a leopard print blazer with one button done
Right.
and no clothes underneath. It's a great look.
Can I say my borderline gross thing? But it's important and it has to be noted.
Okay.
I hosted a
Jesus
screening
fucking
of this at
Christ.
Videology with Pilot Verwet,
Uh-huh.
friend, past and future guest.
Past Future Guys, who this movie is basically like if you kind of like took Pilot's brain and just sort of like mashed it
It's
onto
like
a screen.
ego, super ego is Josie, Val, and Melody.
Very much so.
But
Yeah.
watching the film on a screen at Videology in front of everyone, I realized
Uh-oh.
this is the most braless movie of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, pretty pointedly, right? I'm not saying there's any larger point here. I just think it has to be acknowledged. Especially the more famous they get, the more braless they get.
It's true.
And it's
The bra does not feature in their most high concept looks.
It's what's more uncomfortable to me is the like low rise jeans and them being like capable of doing anything in those somehow.
It's a lot of
Very
like
true.
low-rise
They're
dreams,
barely
Low-rise
over their
dreams.
asses.
lower.
I mean, it's 2001.
It's
the midriff is
2001.
like
Right.
the
Britney
costumer.
Spears,
Exactly.
very
Like
Britney
you start
Spears
on the
outfit.
midriff and then you figure everything else out. What do
Right.
you call that top? I was asking you beforehand. That comes to a point at your belly button.
I don't know why you're looking at me. Ben's the fashion
It looks
expert.
like you wear a bandana around your torso.
Exactly.
Right.
yes.
It's like a bandana. It's not like a halter top. It's just like a non-shirt.
Right.
Like I don't know how to describe it, but it is.
It's like a
Tara
handkerchief.
Reid never wears a shirt that
None
has
of them
like
really
sleeves
do.
and a midriff.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
there's always
straps.
something removed.
She's lucky if there's like a back to it.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
But Wyeth turns Josie bad, has her stand up Alan M, the hottest guy in Riverdale. He plays a shitty music for a shitty audience of just
Alan
Alexandra.
Cumming. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he tells her it's canceled. Though.
Yes. Right. And
Yeah,
he
makes
has
a
to do
couple
that whole
calls.
thing. Yeah.
Yes. Hold on 1 second.
He's funny. A lot of flip phones in this movie.
Oh, they're great.
They
Ben.
flip out.
Yeah.
Good tech.
Good
Well,
tech.
it's great. And everything was better at this time.
Oh, I see.
And everyone who is young now or is old but wasn't young then,
Yeah.
you suck. Sorry, you missed out on the best times.
No, you're
Right.
you're right, Ben. This
The
is definitely a
world.
time to be
Right.
shitting on the teenagers of America. It's not like they've done anything important recently.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's just really too bad they didn't have a portable CD player. Those are. I mean,
Yeah.
Super cool.
ideal
Right?
tech, especially when you would just walk with them and then it would skip
Yeah.
while you were on the
And if
bus.
you
And
felt
you
like
would
because
bring
it
your like
moved at
CD
all.
wallet with your 10 CDs
Right,
in it because that's
exactly.
all the music you got to listen to.
Right.
I have to hang out on the subway with the score to Ants in case I felt like putting that on.
If you wanted to interact with media, you could go get some really cool magazines or go hang out at a record store instead of downloading bullshit, posting on fucking social media, and spending
All
all
right,
your
Ben.
time on a fucking computer.
Listening to
Jesus.
podcasts on your phone.
Yeah,
Fucking
God.
podcasts. How,
Wake
What
up,
is a
sheeple.
podcast?
how do you even
If they're-
make money?
If there are
Oh,
two things we hate, they're podcasts and social media for podcasts. So,
damn
Ange,
it! I
the next
can't
thing
even. You know what? I'm taking a. All right, I'm gonna
He's
sit
standing
down.
up, folks. All
Oh,
right.
no,
Sitting
he's
back
sitting down.
And I'm a good boy, and I like it.
Great. Thanks, good boy.
Josie, she fucking trips. The CD falls out.
Yep.
She realizes the trance she was
Her
in.
bus pass also falls out.
Yeah. and she
That's
Of her
what
bag.
really kind of
Yeah.
kicks her out of
Mhm.
it.
Also, can we point out the slow song being "You See Me" and it's about like layers underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, the layers.
I love that
Movie.
CGI shot where they go through
Into
her
the CD
headphones,
player.
through
It's
the
really
cord,
cool. That's a good shot.
Oh, it's very 2000.
the workings of the Discman.
Oh man, I love my
But she
Discman.
calls up the Cabots, and now in the final chunk of the movie, they work in the Josie and the Pussycats solving mysteries element,
Right.
which is we have to figure out what's going on here. They check that machine.
Figure out the machine is
You slept with Mr. Movie Phone.
that's a funny line. Missy
Mr.
Powell's
Pyle.
really great in this
So
movie.
good. One of our
So good.
finest.
Mr. Movie Phone gag is also great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very funny. Very 2001.
very much
Jerkin.
so. Jerkin.
Jerkin. Well, here's what I love. I guess, we're getting to the revelation of the mystery. The car scene,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Because Josie goes to confront at the concert, and she shows up at the concert.
Yes, because it's like the kid,
Oh
basically,
no, Parker Posey busted on them when they're at the recording.
when they're at the recording, but she
goes,
basically
"Huh,
takes
you
them
got me."
hostage,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because they're going to blow them up in the car. The MTV News sketch
They've
is already
already
pre-recorded,
recorded
which
it.
is really
Right.
funny.
She's going to
Died
do a
tragically in a
concert.
car.
Yes. In memory
so-
of her friends.
The final subliminal message is revealed, which is that Fiona is really
jerking.
cool. Yeah, she's jerking.
Yeah.
Fiona is the prettiest girl in the world.
And
She doesn't like Mr. Movie Phone's line read, so then she starts.
She cuts
she
in.
does right, which is also a good bit by Parker Posey. But
If I was a guy, I'd want to date her. If I was a girl, I'd want to be her best friend.
Parker and Cumming, this is like a Scooby Doo scene. They're
Yeah.
unmasking.
Yes.
But that's the Hanna-Barbera thing.
That's
is
what I'm
that, like,
saying. It's
right,
funny.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
All
that,
these,
that was my point.
every
I made it.
Hanna-Barbera used to be animals who were parodies of popular figures, and then they moved to teenagers who solve mysteries.
Right.
And that was their big
I've
contribution
always
to
wanted
the
to solve
Josie
mysteries
mysteries.
at like abandoned amusement parks and the such.
Well, bad news, you're too old. You got to be a teenager,
Oh,
or
God,
you
I'll
got to
never
be a fart
teenager
detective.
again. 2001, Ben.
Better times.
Yeah, 2001, the best year in American history.
What I love about the final showdown
Yes.
is that the government gets away with it, pins it all on Alan
Love
Cumming and
it.
Parker Posey, and they never reveal that they were a part of the conspiracy.
A cynical movie.
I love it.
And then go on to say, actually, we're going to shut this whole thing down. We figured movies are so much better. Josie and the Pussycats is the best movie ever. Join the army.
It's so funny.
And we all did.
When was that Simpsons episode that has the same plot line? It's after this, right?
100%.
It's like a total ripoff of this.
100%.
The one with NSYNC in it.
Yes.
It does have that great line where LT Smash's real name is revealed to be Lieutenant LT Smash. It always gets me.
Yeah. So the movie rules, and they get up on stage.
And they do a great concert.
After they've
and then
destroyed
that's
the
it.
she gets Fiona to destroy her own machine. The FBI agents come in. De Jour reveals that they've been behind it the entire time. The three actors who were busy
In a full cast.
are replaced
The
by...
monkey is also in a cast.
Well, he also was booking a lot of shit at the time.
That's the
monkey.
one thing that bugs me.
The De Jour thing?
The fake du jour?
It makes Josie and the Pussycats look like a cheap movie that fucking Donald Faison and Frank and Mayor couldn't clear their
Blowing up
schedules.
at the time. Faison was on season 3 of Clueless.
I'm aware. I was watching it. But, I mean, come on. They couldn't show up for another day of filming.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know.
It is a little.
But still.
But the
cheap.
Metallica joke is.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a good one.
Question.
And I thank
Yes.
God every day I knew the lyrics to Enter Sandman. He's so dramatic the way he says Enter Sandman.
What happened to that guy?
The final song
Right.
on the album
Yes.
is the exchange between her and the boyfriend in the song.
I don't believe so. Oh, like where he cuts in and he's like, and she can somehow hear him across
Yeah.
the arena
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
going, I love you, Josie. And she's like, I love you too. And then they make out.
I'm really
Rosario's
selfish.
like,
I'm going to disrupt this concert for everyone else.
right. I'm very boring, but I'm a man and I'm in your presence.
Hottest guy in Riverdale.
Kiss me.
I like that Josie says, like, we're going to play something for you. If you
Yeah.
like
Oh, they
it, that's
do
cool.
They do the ear thing.
If you
and-
don't, that's cool
Yeah.
too. Right. Takes the ears off, and it's like, if we're going to make it, we got to make it in a way that's real.
Right.
It's her Moneyball moment.
Well, we also kind of skip over the point of like not only are Wyatt and Fiona like secretly evil and
Right.
whatever.
This is the
but-
Scooby-Doo moment,
But
right.
it turns out we obviously know the whole plot. It's just to learn that. But
No, no.
Fucking nerds.
but
Yes.
they're
They
both
went to the
insecure,
same
and it's
school.
kind of
Right.
vaguely hinted at throughout the movie
Yes,
about
of
like
course.
what do you mean you don't want to be? Isn't oh no, Wyatt says when all somehow their high school those girls show
Yeah.
up at their door.
Right, don't you
And he's
want-
like,
yeah.
what's the point of being rock stars if you can't like screw over people from your high school? And then he kind of like coughs and he's
Because
like,
he was white-ass Wally. He's been
think-
holding it
White-ass
in for
Wally.
15
I think it's
years.
brilliant
Lifting
to
Lisa.
say like all adults are just insecure people.
Right.
Especially in the entertainment industry.
Exactly.
Either
Who
you
wanna,
own it,
like,
you try to make beautiful art about it,
prove
or you
some
become
fucking
vindictive
point.
and want power
Right.
over
Exactly.
others. Yeah. It's a beautiful movie.
It's also funny to think how the music industry used to have power.
I know. That's the other thing that's a real trip about this movie. Like, a label? What the hell?
Yeah.
Who cares?
They don't even talk about like Napster. Like the idea of pirating doesn't even factor into this.
You know,
movie.
yeah.
was it even
Yeah, it was.
early
Oh,
2001?
Oh, yes.
I
I
know.
was.
It was like
Yes.
99, 2000 was when that started.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I started using LimeWire after
hell
that.
yeah.
No, I didn't.
No.
No.
I was
You're
such a
young.
big Napster
Don't
kid.
listen to that.
I was a big
Yeah.
Napster kid. I liked
Yeah.
Soulseek. Do you
I remember
Soulseek?
taking like 2 months to put together like a
Huzzah.
mix CD because Napster took
And then you
so
have to
long
download
and
the right
dial up.
pictures,
Oh,
or
God. I would
you would
make my
download the
own-
wrong version of
Yeah.
it. I had the wrong version of like a Beatles song for like years on my phone, and realized like my friend was like, "This is not the Beatles."
Let's
box
all
office
find
game?
our mix tapes or like mix CDs from this time. I know I can find mine.
Oh yeah,
I could
Oh,
find
I have
mine
plenty.
100%.
All right. I want them. When this episode comes out, we got to put out
I
that
could-
track list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right.
But speaking of track lists, Ange has brought in a little bit of a merchandise spotlight.
That's true.
Have.
We do have to do a merchandise spotlight.
courtesy of my brother as a gift for this past Christmas.
Oh,
Okay, 'cause I almost
congrats.
got
Angel's
one
brother.
for you, and I felt like I remembered you posting that you had gotten it. I also have bought this for myself.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great. Because at the time of the release, it irked me how close the soundtrack was to what I wanted. Because it
Okay.
was like music from Josie and the Pussycats, an original soundtrack, and then it's all Josie tracks other than De Jour. And I was like, I wish they had gone the extra mile and just committed to this being an album by Josie and the Pussycats.
Right.
And now, Ange, if you want to present this.
Yeah. I have a record from Mega Records.
With the same cover that they have in the film,
Right.
not the movie poster.
Nope. of Josie and the Pussycats. It is the 15th anniversary, I believe. I'm
God,
taking
it's
this
good.
thing
Yeah,
out. Yeah. The record itself is purple leopard print.
Boom!
Whoa!
Yeah.
Damn,
Wow.
that's a
Yeah.
hot record.
Pass that around.
Thank you.
It's great.
Oh, it's got the Mega Records logo.
And they originally released this. They did a screening in LA where they had the woman from Letters to Cleo perform
Kay
the
Hanley,
songs
yes.
live, and they had Rachel Lee Cook, our finest actress.
They actually had the whole cast.
They had everyone there.
Rosario made it at the end, I guess.
Aw.
Yeah, it was cute because it was so sad because Val is left out, and then I think she was like on a flight or something and got caught up, but she eventually gets to join the panel.
That's awesome.
But it's really great because they interview both directors. I can't remember if Babyface might be interviewed in that too.
I think so.
And he talks about how like he had never really worked on anything like pop rock or whatever, so this was kind of like a challenge for him. There's interviews with like Tara Reid and Rachel Lee Cook.
You want some other people who got special thanks on here
Sure.
from the music industry?
Yes.
Biff Naked, remember her?
Nope.
That was a thing. Adam Duritz from the Counting Crows. Tommy
Remember
Mottola.
him. Sure.
I think it's interesting, all these people who worked
Yeah.
on the music of
And
the
so
film.
the fun thing about this
Matthew
record,
Sweet. He
Okay.
of Girlfriend. Remember that album?
Vaguely.
It's a good album. Anyway.
it also comes with a 45 of de jour.
Now, this
Which
is
is
what I really
amazing.
love because
Around
it
the world.
separates
It's a
the
nice
de
touch.
jour
It's
into its
white.
own corner,
Yes.
and it gives you a pure Josie album as if they're a real band.
It's pretty sweet. Ben's looking at it. And I think one reason you were confused is the
Yep.
poster for Josie and the Pussycats says in theaters this April, and then below it says movie soundtrack in stores March 27th. They
thought it just
pre-released
said-
the movie soundtrack.
I think because it was like playing. I watched clips. I was on YouTube and I was watching. There was like apparently on TRL, MTV's New Year's special had the cast of Josie and the Pussycats
Sure.
leading into 2001. It is wild.
That is wild, and that is the most
But it
2001
sounds
thing in
like
the world.
like spring, like January into March was them like marketing the hell out of it, playing it on MTV
well,
as they're mocking
At the
MTV.
Foot Locker.
they made
Right.
they made their play, but it opened to $4.5 million, number 7
I mean, insane.
at the April 13th box office.
I mean,
Bummer.
Insane.
It crushed at the Woburn Blockbuster the next year.
That was they were like, geez, we made the money back for
Right?
the budget just off of that.
So I distinctly remember one of the movies that outgrossed Josie this weekend. I don't know if it was in the top 5, but I remember it had no hype going into it. Didn't open at number 1, but still outperformed Josie, which is Kingdom Come.
that opened at number 6. That movie isn't bad. I saw
seen
it.
it. Not bad?
In theaters. Not bad. It's a funny, ensemble comedy.
Okay. So
movie.
we have 6
LL
and
Cool J.
7 established. Let's go through number 1 at the box office.
But yeah, Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come's not bad. All right, so number 1 at the box office. It's its 3rd week at the box office.
So it's running the table.
Last weekend, my friends, it was number 1 at the box office. The weekend before,
Number 1 at the box.
it was number 1 at the box office. In its 3rd week, it has grossed $68 million. I saw this movie in theaters. It's very funny.
What's the final gross?
Final gross is $112 million.
Wow.
It spawned 3 sequels.
It's comedy.
Action comedy.
Spy Kids.
Also,
Also
featuring
featuring
Alan
Alan
Cumming
Cumming.
as a villain.
What's his name? What's his name?
What is his
Right?
name?
Isn't it Floop?
Flug, like
That sounds right. I just remember the thumbkins.
It's the F. I think his name's Floop.
I'm looking it up. Fegan Floop.
Thank you.
That's his name. I wasn't really disputing it, but great movie.
you.
IMO, Robert Rodriguez.
His best film.
Spy Kids?
Yeah.
No.
What's his best movie?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
No, it's called Spy Kids.
No, it's definitely from Dusk Till Dawn.
I'll tell you why.
Which is an amazing
I'll
movie.
tell you
3
why it's
other
Spy Kids.
movies.
Because Spy Kids doesn't force you to listen to Quentin Tarantino describe oral sex.
Yes, well, that's a fair
That
point.
immediately knocks points off of From Dusk Till
Fair
Dawn.
point. Spy Kids 1 rules. Spy Kids 2 is pretty good.
Not bad. Buscemi,
Buscemi's funny.
he fucks in it.
Uh,
Plays Dr. Romero. He makes his little
Jesus
Harryhausen
Christ.
monsters.
as Spy Kids 3, I don't really remember.
Spy Kids 3D Game Over?
Yeah, it's the one with
It's
Sly.
a perfect movie.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a perfect film.
What's the
Okay,
fourth one?
All the Time in the World.
And was released in 4D. There was a scratch and sniff card. That one doesn't share characters. It's a new family
New
of
kids
spy
all
kids. It's
together.
Jessica Alba.
No. Alexa Vega and Daryl Sabara are in that movie.
Appear briefly as elder statesmen.
Yeah.
But the main crux of the movie is
It's new. It's like
Joel McHale and Jessica Alba and their 2 kids, one of whom has a hearing aid.
Spy Kids rules. Love Spy Kids. It's great. Also, I think was just a genuine box office surprise. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they saw that movie making 112 and like.
No, it was a big hit. And they even like re-released it later with deleted scenes. They did like a special edition.
I remember that. Yeah.
There was a shark sequence that they added back in.
Sweet.
Rom loved Spy Kids.
It's a great movie. Number 2 at the box office
Mhm.
is a, I guess like a thriller, mystery thriller based on a popular series of books. It's the second in this series.
It's
It has a very
yeah.
famously strange
Along
CGI
Came a
opening
Spider?
sequence. Yes.
Yes.
Along Came a Spider with Morgan Freeman and Monica Potter.
But at this point, it's like that's in its 3rd weekend, right?
Second.
Spy Kids is in its 3rd weekend. Everyone was like, Josie
should dethrone
open a
these.
runway.
Nope.
These 2 films, yeah.
Nope. Remember the opening sequence of that? Like
I've
with
never
the
seen that
weird
movie.
car crash? Very weird CGI in that
The only
scene.
thing I know is that you don't cross Alex Cross.
Is that the tagline?
Yes. It's the tagline of a later Alex Cross movie starring Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
But this is back when it was Morgan Freeman, baby.
Alex
He had a
Cross.
franchise.
Everyone's favorite film character, Alex Cross.
He's cool.
Don't cross him.
Don't cross it. Number 3 at the box office. I'm assuming you saw Spy Kids, maybe not in
Yeah.
theaters, but you saw it.
Oh, I remember.
Probably didn't see Along Came a Spider.
Shiitake mushrooms.
New film.
Point. Yeah.
It would go on to be Oscar nominated, which is surprising for an April release. Romantic comedy, rated R, based on a book.
Bridget Jones?
I totally forgot that came out in April. I
Yeah.
thought that came out,
And then the
like
next
the
weekend, it
fall.
becomes number 1. It's a rare movie that rises.
You're right. The next weekend, it drops 5%.
And everything else dropped more.
And
it-
the only
it took
thing
the
that
number 1
opened was Freddie Got Fingered in Crocodile and Dundee in Los Angeles.
Like Josie and the Pussycats was supposed to have like a 6-week run
We should
Right.
do that.
at number 1.
It
I
should
know.
have.
It had like like teen movies were big, cartoon adaptations were big. Like everyone's like, this is gonna fucking rule the charts.
Did you see Bridget Jones? No, not in theaters, but
No, I've never
Later
seen
in
Bridget
life?
Jones.
fair enough.
I saw it in theaters.
I'm
I saw
good.
it with my mom.
I went to the premiere in London.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
In London.
Literally shut the fuck up. That was very surprising when she got nominated, right?
She snuck in there, but as strange as this sounds, there was the note that the prevailing feeling at the time was that she'd been snubbed for Nurse Betty the year before.
Right.
So it was kind of like, and also she'd been snubbed for Jerry
She was
Maguire.
legit snubbed for
So
Jerry.
it was sort of like, we should probably, squeeze
Throw
her
her a
in there.
bone.
And she is good in that one.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, she's good.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
fun movies. Hugh Grant to me is like the best part of the Bridget Jones movies.
He's the best part of
Is it
any movie.
Paddington?
He's the best part of Paddington
He
too.
plays Phoenix Buchanan in the Bridget Jones trilogy.
Pretty much. Number 4 is another new movie. It's a comedy. Seems like a Ben movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love when any description of a film is a
Yeah.
bad movie.
I could. Did you see this one in theaters?
Definitely.
Is this a Ben Starr?
You weigh in on that, Ben. I mean, he doesn't have a lot. He has some. You know what? I take it back. He's had some starring roles. He's an
I can't-
SNL alum.
I'm not all in, but I like.
Not all in. Okay.
I'm not all in.
So
but
you hear blank is in a movie, you're not like, I'm there.
No.
But you hear blank is in blank, and you're like, yeah, I'm there.
Okay, wait. So it's April of... Oh, I know what it is.
What is it?
This is the most Ben movie of all time.
Yep.
This is Joe Dirt?
Yeah. Which outgrossed Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh,
In
that's
its first
sad.
weekend?
In all of its weekends and its final total.
Yeah, jeez.
David Spade is Joe Dirt. I have never seen Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirtbike Benny.
Joe
Joe
Ben,
Dirtbike
Ben
Benny.
just made a face at me.
I mean, if I don't remember much, this was like a film that was on Comedy Central
Yeah.
a lot. A dog's balls like freeze to some poor
Go on.
steps. That there's something about a meteorite made out of shit.
Yeah.
That's
It's
all I
also,
remember.
it's weirdly like tragicomic.
It's like a sort of Pilgrim's Progress type movie, right? Like he sort of like goes on a journey. And
do you know
like,
what the superstructure of that movie is?
Yes. No, I have no idea.
Dennis Miller is like a fucking shock jock.
Why not? Dude?
Yeah, why not?
And Dennis Miller's a shock jock,
Okay.
and there's this janitor who they all fucking make fun of.
And he's the
and they decide
janitor,
to throw him on
right.
Mike Stern style to like make fun of the weirdo. And they're like, so what's your fucking story? Where's this haircut come from? And he tells the story that ends up being really tragic about his life.
Oh, weird.
He tells them this weird picaresque journey of how he got to the point where he was working at a janitor, like the rise and fall of Joe Dirt. And then it ends with like America glued to this radio program that ends on this note of like, yeah, and I lost my love, I lost my family, I lost everything. And Joe Dirt becomes like a folk hero.
Hey guys, I know you're fans of podcasts, and maybe you've thought about starting your own podcast, but it's easy to record a show, but how do you reach listeners? How do you build an audience? You should come to Audio Boom. They're the partners of this show, and they can help with a $9.99 monthly subscription plan for hosting and distribution. With $9.99 a month, you get 200 minutes of recording time for each episode. That's almost as long as an episode of Blank Check, Ben.
It's close.
You get a branded homepage on the Audioboom platform. You get embeddable players for web and social media. You get unlimited storage. You get episode scheduling, so things will post automatically.
Which is huge.
Yes, that's very helpful.
Because you don't want to have to be like on demand.
Right, you don't have
call.
to, I have to get to a computer right now to like post the episode at 9 a.m. or whatever.
Right.
And thanks to Audioboom's partnerships with leading distribution and streaming platforms, your show may be eligible for placement on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, on Spotify and Stitcher, and TuneIn, pending approval from each platform.
Which is great. Again, just I'll give you an insight from my end as
Yeah,
a producer
you're
of
the
this
producer.
show. It is, there's iTunes, but all these other platforms, being able to access them is really important, to getting to Android listeners or users.
People use all kinds of apps,
Right.
and it's right.
Spotify is like a burgeoning
people listen to podcasts
platform.
on Spotify,
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
And it just gets you into all those without you having to do it individually, one by one. And with Audioboom's advanced analytics, you'll be able to see how often your show's been downloaded, what devices your audience has used to listen to the show, the age and the gender and the location of your listeners, and so much more. It's cool, right? I mean, you use Audioboom.
If you guys are interested, you can sign up for a $10 monthly subscription plan. Just go to audioboom.com/start and sign up today.
That's AUDIOBOOM.com/START. Sign up now. You get the support you need to start your podcast today. That's audioboom.com/start.
Thanks for spelling it out.
Number 5 at the box office is a film. I saw all of these in theaters except for Joe Dirt.
I saw all these except for Along Came a Spider.
And I didn't see Joe Dirt because if it came out in Britain, it came and went. The whole
Where?
SNL.
But I'm saying it played in U.S. theaters, first-round theaters for at least 6 weeks. So when you got back home to New York, you would have been able to see it.
I love how the new bit is I went on vacation. To Britain.
Yeah.
All right. So the 5th film, I saw this in theaters. It's it's like kind of an epic drama.
Epic drama.
But like a period piece. It's like sort of a cool movie.
Cool movie.
Ben's
It's
nodding.
kind of crazy that this movie exists.
2001.
2001. How do you describe this movie, Ben?
It's historical. It's like a historical drama.
Yeah, but like,
It's a real
recent-ish.
Ben
It's like
movie.
70s or whatever,
Yeah, this is another Ben.
It's an
movie.
anti-hero movie.
Is it Blow?
Yes. How the fuck do you do this?
I mean, we're talking especially
It's tough. I mean,
this run of years.
Yeah, me too.
What year did you get started in the box office game?
I'll tell you, I started tracking the box office when Toy Story came out because Toy Story is my
95.
favorite movie. So 95. But when we get to 99 to 2007, I'm so fucking in it.
Right.
And my dad and I have the ritual around every Monday morning cracking open the paper. And the other thing you have to remember is my dad would literally cover his hand over the 10 and have me guess in escalating order where films were.
Right.
So the weekend this
He
comes
was like,
out.
I'm training for you a podcast someday.
I mean, essentially, he was wax on, wax on.
And then you're like, what's a podcast?
Right. But this weekend, I was like, Josie's number one. We know Josie's number one. And you're not getting reports about Friday like we have now.
I know. Yeah, it's
right?
more of a guessing game.
So it's like Monday morning, you have no idea what it's going to be. And he goes through the top 10. It's like number 10. Okay, whatever. 8.
Someone like you.
And then when Josie and the Pussycats is 7, I lose my mind.
Yeah. It did manage to beat out the second weekend of Pokemon 3.
What's the subtitle of Pokemon 3?
The movie.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I think in Japan they have more elaborate subtitles that explain the plot of the movie, but in America they would just reduce that to Pokemon the movie 2000. You know, like try and keep it.
Dave, are you saying America makes films dumber for their audiences?
Sure. Yeah.
Simplify it because we don't understand.
The second one was
concepts.
released here as Pokemon 2000, the movie.
Pokemon
right?
the movie 2000.
Okay, and then the first one was called Pokemon the first movie
Yes, which felt like a threat.
because they knew they had already made 5 more of them.
Yes. Whereas in Japan, it's called Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Right.
Which to be fair would be a weird thing to release the first movie as because Mewtwo Strikes Back. What did we do?
Right. And here is Pokemon : the first movie, but all of the advertising used Mew versus Mewtwo.
Yes. Also, Pokemon the first movie is kind of 2 movies. The first 20 minutes are an entirely different movie.
It's a short film about
Pikachu like having some fun on the beach.
A character everyone thought was named Pika Blue. That was the rumor because he looked like a blue Pikachu. It's Pikachu's vacation.
Pokemon the movie 2000 in Japan is called Pokemon Revelation Lugia, which is a pretty fucking cool name.
The soundtrack for the Pokemon movie is fucking nuts. That hadn't been said. Pokemon, go fuck themselves.
Whereas Pokemon 3 in America, Pokemon 3, the movie, seems a little hat in a hat there, but okay, is called Pocket Monsters, the movie, Lord of the Unknown Tower, which, hello, I want to meet that Lord.
And then Pokemon Forever. Right?
Pokemon Forever, or
That's where
Pocket
Dark Tower
Monsters,
went
the
wrong.
movie, Celebi, A Timeless Encounter.
God. So
They're
timeless.
so much better. And then Pokemon 5, I don't think that one even came out in America. That was when it was now just like
I think that's when Miramax starts releasing them in like limited.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
VHS.
Like in sort of like Fathom event style, sort
Yes.
of one day only, right?
Yes.
And you get like a free card. I saw Pokemon 1 and 2 in theaters. I didn't see 3.
I one time went up to my friends who were playing with their dumb cards.
Oh yeah, you sound like one of the people who were mean to me when I
And
was a teen.
I took my arm and I threw them all off the table.
Jesus. You sound like one of those kids that when I was a kid, I was like, he has a real attitude problem.
Hell yeah.
Were you still chubby at this stage?
Yep.
Were you full of rage?
Yeah.
Ben just walking by with his tuba. Like,
Okay.
fuck yeah. Was it a tuba? Am I getting that wrong?
And
Trumpet.
Yes.
it was
no,
a tuba.
it was
You
a
nailed him to
tuba.
the fucking wall.
He was a tuba boy.
They gave me the
a
tuba.
savage dunk, Ange.
And I remember my
He's honking
music
as he
teacher
goes
was like,
by.
"You should play the tuba because you can hold on to it." And I remember in my mind being like, "Because you're fat."
She was saying you could wear it like a belt. That's what she was saying, that you wouldn't have to hold it.
It fits you.
It's like an inner tube.
Yep.
An inner tuba.
So
Oh, I got another merchandise spotlight. David's
Oh, yeah.
gonna hate it. They
Honestly, I don't care. I'm weirdly zen right now.
Okay. There was a company that made a line of dolls. They did them for 2 movies and then gave up. The first was Charlie's Angels.
Sure.
Mhm.
The second was Josie and the Pussycats,
Oh, how did I not own those?
where they tried to apply 2 weird types of technology
Uh-oh.
that were kind of primitive.
Uh-huh.
There's a company called Jax who mostly then did WWF shit.
Do this fast.
Yeah.
I'm already losing patience. It's amazing.
One, they were like, you said you were weirdly
I
zen.
know, not anymore.
half a minute later, all right, hurry up with that shit.
One,
Yeah.
they were like, sculptors, who needs them? We're going to scan them digitally.
Yep.
Which now is common practice, but at the time made them look really creepy.
Right. Should I find these? Jack's Charlie's Angels?
Or Jack's Josie and the Pussycats would be more relevant.
Fine.
The second thing was they made them where they had like internal skeletons and then covered them in rubber
Ew.
so that you couldn't see like the joints, but they could move.
No.
How do you spell Jack's?
Jakks.
Oh.
So they bent
So
weird.
they were Westworld.
Yeah, they were like
Yeah.
Westworld
It was like the opening to
animatrons,
Westworld.
right?
Oh, I don't like it at all.
It's going to be a very upsetting merchandise spotlight.
Valley.
Right.
Wait, can
right.
I
Yeah.
see?
Their bodies were mushy, and then also the rubber would deteriorate over time. So they'd look like Terminators.
I don't know. They're very strange.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna buy a set of them on eBay.
God, they look creepy. All right. Yeah, that's enough.
They're creepy. Go look up the creepy Josie and the Pussycats doll. And hey, maybe we'll post a picture on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
fabulous account run by Ams that you should all follow.
That's right.
I do
Well-
the tweets. I do the Instagrams. I do the Facebook. Maybe not as much. I don't go nuts on Reddit.
Yeah.
I just want to say that
Ange is
we
the
already got
best.
sentimental. Ange is the best.
Ange is the
and
fucking
we
best.
also should officially say here at the end of this episode that Ange's title is associate producer.
Hell yeah.
True.
Associate producer. And
Am I
The
a
Ange
pro-doer?
Juicer.
Perhaps Ange will graduate to certain nicknames such as
Angelians with a dollar sign. Say Angie thing.
This is cold, guys. This is off the dome.
Wow.
Strange days.
Hey,
Hey,
pretty good.
that works.
And choose your favorite. What's your favorite miniseries?
Oh, that's tough.
Okay,
An-
if that's
Ange-lish.
Put you on the spot.
Can I say my least
Spange-lich.
favorite? I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
say
think.
your least favorite.
I will. Okay. Well, some of my favorite episodes. I do love War Horse. I've never seen it.
But you gotta
Classic
fuck that horse.
Great. ep.
Lincoln was fun.
That's I think
Gotta
one of our
fuck that
funniest
president.
steps.
I think because I cried when Ben said something about like these like major men in history like wiped their butts with their hands
Yeah, I mean they didn't have Dollar Shave
and then
Club.
like signed the Declaration of Independence or whatever. It
It's
was
stinky
just,
butts, no butt wipe.
yeah,
Yep.
an astute point I did not see when Lincoln came out.
But wait, are you saying Spielberg's your least favorite miniseries?
I was such a slog because he's no
Wow.
fun.
Hey,
You guys,
hey.
you had some good episodes. I just
I
will
have a
say.
friend named Tintin who would disagree with you.
No, that's
Okay.
fair. That's fair.
But
That's-
A
if
nose for
we're
a good
talking
story and an ear for
arc-
adventure.
I think fun episodes, but I think if we're talking like arc
Sure.
of like where is this director going
Yeah.
and things like that, it was just like, wow, he was very successful and he continued being very successful.
but we
and
all know
he
where he
always
was
made a lot of
going.
money, and we all know where he's. I'm just
He
like,
was
there's
going into
no.
the Oasis.
Can't wait to record that
Oh
up.
boy,
That episode's gonna be full of Easter eggs.
you think there's a lot of references
Should we also
to like
announce
kind of go off on?
the next miniseries,
Wait,
or did
are
we
we
do that?
talking-
Yeah. After this.
Oh,
Can I do it?
yeah.
Yes. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to remember where we are in the timeline. Yes.
Do I remember?
James L.
who's
Brooks is all wrapped up.
Oh,
you
yeah.
crazy person.
Put a bow on that. And now, Andrew, would you like to announce the following miniseries?
next?
You know what it is?
Next miniseries, I hope I don't have to check my phone,
Sure.
is One Brad Bird.
That's
Correct.
We're taking flight with the bird.
Taken to the
There
sky.
we
We've
go.
recorded
Dumb bit Griff would have said, so.
all of those episodes already.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're fucking hilarious.
Except for
Except
Incredibles
for
2.
Incredibles 2,
Except
which is
for
what you
Incredibles
guys
2,
signed
which is,
up
of
for.
course, the peg for Brad.
Yeah.
We've wanted to do him from the
The
beginning.
peg.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's a new term.
Okay.
It's a journalism term. Maybe you guys don't
Jeez.
know that one.
I was a journalism major.
My-
get it.
My,
I got
my
you,
editor
David.
asks me all the time, what's the peg?
Wait a second, but how would you know journalism terms if you grew up in the United States of America?
It's a good
They don't- they
question.
don't do
teach
that
you shit here.
Anywhere else.
Yeah, we're doing Braddy in a miniseries we like to call the Podcastables. That's what
Yeah.
we're calling it, right? I
Yeah,
can't
that was
remember.
the best we got.
Yeah, sure.
Get ready for Tomorrowland takes. Not
No.
tomorrow, in the coming weeks.
That's a great episode. You should also know that the Iron Giant episode we repeatedly during while recording it called it the worst episode we'd ever done.
Oh, no.
I think it's a masterpiece.
Ah.
No, it's so good, Ange. It's
Okay.
like a great ep. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, you are who you choose
I
to
don't
be.
we
The podcast is what you choose to cast. Yep.
we do to the Iron
It's a point
Giant
for point.
Thank you.
what Ready Player
Nailed
One
it.
did to the Iron Giant.
Which is, oh, yeah.
Desecrated.
I have no idea what it means,
Bunch
'cause
of guns
Yeah, we haven't seen Ready Player One yet
and
either.
shoot things up.
Did they bring Vin back for Ready Player One?
I don't know.
Is his shirt off? Is the question.
Well, that's the thing I like about the Iron Giant is that dude never fucking wears a shirt because it's a goddamn Vin Diesel movie.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening.
Oh, wait. Can I give a quick shout out?
To anyone.
There were like 3 blankies who said their birthdays were today.
What? The day that this
today,
comes out?
May 7th.
Okay.
Yep.
So I just want to wish a happy birthday to Stephen Roth,
Hells yeah.
who's excited to hear this episode.
The great
Mike,
Stephen Roth.
Yep, Mike Lewis,
The great Mike Lewis.
and Aaron Reed.
The great Aaron.
Happy birthday, guys.
And you're so on top of social media
I
that
know.
you know the blanky birthdays.
They tweeted at the show, and I was like, yeah.
It's amazing.
Nah, I don't even know my mom's birthday.
I don't know, my birthday.
Yeah. Remember to rate,
What's a
review,
birthday?
subscribe. Yeah, right. That's the height, not the joke.
Yeah.
You should have come a little faster on the
Uh-huh.
cue. We set you up for that one. Ben's the greatest producer of all time. He's totally jerking.
His outfits are amazing.
Yeah.
I love them. They're just so impressive.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I
guys.
can't believe
I
he
wish
was
I
so.
could be like Ben.
Hey, you know what? Big thanks to Ange Ferraguto for our social media.
Yep.
Leigh Montgomery for our theme song.
Whatever.
Joe Bone and Pat Reynolds for our artwork. Take a hike. Pokemon Go to the polls. And
Oh, wait, can I shout out my Twitter feed real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get
Oh.
to do any. Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
So, subliminal message it or Just
No, straight up say it.
Just straight up say it.
I'm
We're
real.
never
I don't
gonna have
need a
subliminal
subliminal
messages in
message
this
Angie's
podcast.
real.
trick people
Angie's
into
real.
following me. I'm just going to tell them straight up. My Twitter account is Magnafarta.
Which 5
Yeah.
comedy points.
Thank you.
Funny.
Funny handle.
Yeah, guys, follow Ange
And follow Blank Check.
and follow Blank
Follow
Check.
Blank Check. At
She does
Blank
great
Check
tweets.
Pod.
And also follow your heart. Just at the
Instagram.
end of the day.
Good point.
Follow your
Tag
heart.
us in your fan art.
Do
We're
that.
posting
Yeah,
that.
send us fan art.
And also, I wanted to mention that this coming Friday, May 11th at 9:30 is a performance of a sketch comedy show I wrote, and I would love to have Blankies come out and support. It's called Vapor 2099, and it's a science fiction themed sketch comedy show set in a dystopian cyberpunk future. So think 2001: A Space Odyssey, but with flying drones, floating 3D cones, tons of vaping, and of course, vaporwave music. I mean, come on. The cast features performers who regularly can be seen in NYC at venues like UCB, Union Hall, and have credits that include Adult Swim, IFC, Conan on TBS, Funny or Die, The Chris Gethard Show on True TV, and more. It will be performed at Brick Theater in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and in the episode description, you can find ticket links and more information. Thanks.
Oh, and you posted something to our Blank Check Instagram.
I did, yeah.
Spoilers.
I'll find it.
If you follow us, you'll see.
Spoilers.
And thank you to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring the show.
And as always, DeJour means seatbelts.